Me, 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 me. I'm humming, Kuma. I'm humming because I heard that it's a way, it's one of the many ways if you want to be able to warm up your voice. Hello, by the way, Bolisu. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing fine. I'm doing alright today, which is good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling quite good considering how previously I had days where I was feeling a bit more tired, I guess. I'm feeling lewd. I didn't say that. Did I say that? Maybe I said it. You know, because of you, Bolisu, I will start to doubt everything I'm saying. Because I will start to wonder if I'm genuinely crazy, unhinged, to the point I can't remember what I'm saying, or if it's Bolisu who's trying to gaslight me. Gaslighting. Is that the word? Pretty sure it's the word, Kuma. So just let me see. I see. That is the word. I should start up, by the way. I heard I mean, you can't hear it, obviously, because I have a mic that is really great. I have a microphone that is really great to block background noises. Because back when I was streaming as Eureka version 1, you may remember it. By the way, I have a picture, an old picture. But just let me start up first. It's loading. Loading, loading. Loading, Kuma. I'm loading. Alright, should be good. Take your meds and Bolisu will manage. I should take my meds, you know. People always say that to me, especially my friends. I mean, most of the time, I'm really, I guess, wholesome with people. I mean, most of the people who know me or have some experience with me, whether it is IRL or on the internet, they get along really well with me because I'm the type of person that it's pretty easy to talk to me, if you know what I mean, you know. I'm not the type to be just cold on purpose. I can be cold at times where, for example, it's days where I'm feeling a bit tired or a bit depressed, but most of the time I feel like I'm pretty accessible for people, that even if I meet a stranger, IRL or on the internet, I can talk to them. Unless that person is really weird, and by weird I mean off-putting, you know, because I don't mind weird people. If anything, I like quirky and weird people if they're fun. But if it's the bad, weird type of people, you know, annoying people, or people that are rude, or people that just do stuff that you shouldn't do that in public, if you know what I mean. Usually I avoid those people, but anyone else, I'm getting along, I feel like. What kind of experience? I mean, conversational experience, Policy, not lewd experience. I'm pretty sure you're already starting to think about lewd stuff. It is indeed true that I did milk people in the past on the internet, and that I have some experience with milking people, but most of the time, the people I milked were strangers. And by strangers, I mean people that I found on the internet, like on Discord servers or, you know, random place. They're not necessarily close friends, if that makes sense. Because, believe it or not everyone is compatible for this type of stuff. When you want to lewd with people, like, it's very interesting. weird, I guess, that I'm talking about it, but I think it's interesting. When you want to lewd with someone, and by lewding, I'm not talking about the IRL lewding, because if you want to lewd with someone IRL, either you have to find a hookup, or you have to have a girlfriend or boyfriend, and then you can start lewding when you're feeling in the mood. I'm talking here specifically on an internet setup. When you want to lewd with someone on the internet, like for example doing ERP, erotic roleplay, or just doing, I don't know, dirty talk, sharing lewds and stuff, that person has to be into it to begin with. Because even though I would argue most people are really perverted, I mean, you see it every day on the internet. Like for example, if you look at the anime community, or if you look at the VTuber community. Oh, by the way, big news. Gura is graduating. Gura is graduating, which is surprising, but at the same time, I don't know if it's that surprising, because honestly, I always felt that Gura was going to graduate at some point, you know. I think the writing was like, what was the English idiom? The writing was on the wall for Gura, because for some reason she wasn't streaming that much, and it's been that way for years now, right? I mean, I'm not a big Gura follower, but I did follow her and watch some of her streams in the past, and I think she's pretty cool. You know, she's not the type of VTuber that I go to watch all the time, but I think she was cool. You can be the biggest degenerate in your town, but 2 minutes on the internet and you'll feel like a small fish. That's true, but at the same time, to come back, because I was talking about Gura now, but to come back to the first subject, I was talking about lewding with people. I think most people are horny wrecks, if I can describe them like that. They're horny wrecks, they're perverted. And as you said, Bolisu, if you look on the internet, left and right, you will see degenerates everywhere. But it's not because they're degenerates that they will be good at lewding. And that's where I want to go, like with what I'm talking about, is from my experience, not a lot of people are good at lewding, at actively lewding on the internet with someone. Most people are like lewd stuff, they like lewd art, they're degenerate, you name it, you know. They watch hentai anime, they read doujins, they like lewd art, they watch streamers that can be quite lewd, and yada yada. But if you try to lewd with them, they're not necessarily good at that, you know, because they're confused. Like, it already happened in the past that because there are periods where Eureka is actively looking for people to lewd with, because I'm horny and because I think it's funnier to lewd with someone than to just be by yourself, if that makes sense. And sometimes there are people that are interested that ping me or like DM me on Discord or add me on Discord when I share my tag, and then we start talking, and I realize really quickly they don't know what to do, you know. Like, they're talking, but they don't know how to go about it, you know. They don't know if they need to share lewds. They don't know if they need to say dirty stuff. They don't know how to do it. It requires a good amount of confidence. Exactly, you nailed it, Prince Anime. You nailed it. I would say that regarding lewding, I do have confidence, yes. For sure, I do have confidence. In the sense, I'm not scared, you know. I am not scared if I'm in the mood. But yes, it requires confidence and I guess a bit of experience too. I guess you need experience, you know. But what I mean by that is, it's not because you're a degenerate, an expert of degenerate stuff. Like, for example, you're an expert about feet, or boobs, or you've read a ton of doujins, or you're really into really kinky hardcore stuff, even if that's the case, it doesn't mean that you will be able to have a conversation with someone, a lewd conversation, and then getting off, Kuma. Getting off, because that's the goal. Getting off people. That is the goal, Kuma. That is the end goal, pretty much. So yes, from my experience, not a lot of people are good at looting, but that's not a bad thing, you know. That's not a bad thing, because you have to be into it. As with many things, it's kind of like a hobby for me, if that makes sense. Drinking, Kuma. Usually when you see me like that, like just my head on the side, not moving, and then you have this weird awkward silence, because I'm not even sure if you can hear me drinking, because my microphone, I should change my microphone at some point, that's for sure. That's a microphone that I got because I wanted to have a microphone in order to use a shitty voice changer. And obviously when you use a voice changer, you don't want background noises to go into the microphone, because it's bad. You don't want that. I didn't know who Gura was until everyone said she was graduating. Really? I can't believe it. I can't believe you, Prince Anime. Really? Really? Are you lying? I can't believe it. I mean, I could believe you if you're not necessarily into corporate VTuber, I guess, but Gura was big. Gura was really big. Gura was pretty much the mascot of Hololive. They were pushing her as the mascot. And when I say that, they were pushing her more than... You know how much I love Inugami Korone. I love Kolone, you know, the doggo. I love her. She's my favorite from Hololive. And to me, if you ask me who is the true mascot of Hololive, I would tell you Kolone, but that's not the case. The mascot was Gura, the shark. That was the mascot. But she wasn't streaming that much. I haven't followed the story regarding Gura. Apparently, I heard, like, I don't want to speculate anyway, because I don't like to speculate, you know. I'm not a speculator, if that makes sense, you know. To me, there is no need to speculate, because if you don't know shit, you don't know shit, you know. I just know that she talked in the past from her own words, but that was a few months ago or a year ago, that she had health problems she had to deal with, and that it could explain why she wasn't streaming as much. But since the very beginning, Gura wasn't really streaming a lot. The VTuber with the most subs, that didn't have subs left over from a fallen Cocomelon like YouTube channel. What do you mean by that, Bolisu? A fallen... What? I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean that she built her followers base from zero? Because that is not exactly true. If you're not aware, she used to be... I guess I can say it now, because that's not really a secret. She used to be Senzawa. Gura used to be Senzawa. She used to be a YouTuber before being Gura, and she was mostly sharing videos, you know, videos with her moe loli avatar, and she already had a follow base, I guess. So I guess some of them, when they recognized that Gura was Senzawa, they jumped directly, you know. So I guess that's not exactly true if you say that she had all of her subs from zero, if that's what you mean, you know. Those kids channels that have iPad toddlers, small kids subscribe to them. One of those channels had a VTuber for a time. Oh, okay. I'm not sure I know what you mean, but I'm not that well versed in everything regarding Western VTubers. If anything, I have watched way more. I have way more watching hours with Japanese VTubers than I have with English ones. And I'm not even lying. Before I was even streaming, I was pulling all-nighter to watch Korone, to watch Pikame. I used to watch Pikame a whole lot. Amano Pikame, she's one of my favorite too. Now she's streaming as Henya the Genius. But when she was streaming as Pikame, she was streaming during the night for me, during the night. And some days she was streaming games that I loved, like for example, the Resident Evil games or some other retro games. And I couldn't miss that. And I didn't want to watch the VODs. I wanted to watch it live, not watch the VODs. So I was pulling all-nighter just to watch Pikame. Because I loved her and because I wanted to watch her streaming, But yes, what I was talking about then? All right, we were talking about Gura. As I said, I don't want to speculate, I hope everything will be well for her. Whether she decides to keep streaming as an indie or whether she decides to retire with all her money, because I guess she earned a shit ton of money now, so she could retire, She could retire and do whatever she wants. I don't know what she's going to do, but if I was in her shoes, I think I would retire. I would retire, Kuma, and buy a mansion and buy a whole set of retro consoles and just play games. Invite my friends, playing games. Sometimes I would travel, and pretty much that's what I would do. Kuma. So I wanted to show this picture. I forgot. Am I live on YouTube, by the way? Let me see. I always forget to check, but I always check, even though I shouldn't check, I shouldn't, because I'm pretty sure everything is working according to my plan. But I don't know, I do it by habit. Okay, it's good. Everything is fine, Kuma. The narrative is that Achan, the former master manager of Hololive, was the one keeping it all together once she was gone. Oh, she's gone! I didn't know about that. That Achan was gone. I didn't know. The link between management and the VTuber was broken, and these 7 graduations in Hololive happened. That makes sense. That makes sense, because even though, as I said, I'm not the type to speculate. I've actually looked a lot about how corpo VTuber work, the corporate world of VTuber, whether it is Hololive, Socover, or Nijisanji. And the thing is that when you work for Hololive or Nijisanji, you work for Japan. You work for a Japanese company. And that's the first thing that is really important, and that I feel many of the early English VTubers, so the first generation that joined, they weren't prepared for that, because obviously when Hololive made the auditions, everyone jumped at it because they wanted to work for Hololive. It's a dream for most people, And then you do the audition and you're lucky because you're good, but then you get picked. And then you realize that you have to actually work for a Japanese company. And when you work for a Japanese company, you have to work for during Japanese times. What does it mean? It means that, for example, let's say there is a reunion, that you have to follow. You know, some call that you have to follow, some meeting that you have to follow because the executives are here. They want to talk with the performers. They do it during Japanese time. So they don't give a shit if it's during the night for you, you know. If the meeting is at 3 a.m., you have to be awake at 3 a.m. to follow the meeting. Because you have to do it Japanese time. And I know that a lot of people that ended up working for a Japanese company as a VTuber weren't prepared for that, you know, because they thought that maybe they would try to arrange to have a specific time when they wanted, for example, to talk to the English performers, but they didn't do it. Like, if there was a meeting, you had to be here Japanese time. So if it was 3 a.m., you had to wake up during the middle of the night or just not sleep, because I guess, like, for a lot of people, like, they wouldn't even sleep because it's just at the middle of the night, and then get on your computer, follow the meeting, and probably those meetings, for the most part, were boring as fuck. Like, usually meetings like that are boring, but you have to follow them, and then it stops, and then it's 5 a.m. and either you go back to sleep or you don't sleep at all because you got fucked. You know, your sleep schedule got fucked because you had to attend this meeting at the middle of the night. It was also one of the arguments why modern processor fabrications wouldn't work on the USA. The work culture on Taiwan is crazy. It is indeed. They weren't sure if USA people would be able to keep up. Yes, there's stuff like that, generally speaking, when you work for another country, I give the example for Japan, but it can work in a lot of for a lot of other countries. You have to follow their rules most of the time, for better or worse. In an ideal world, you know, like, for example, if I was the president of Cover, let's say Eureka becomes the president of Cover, what I would try to do is to set up a system that if I want to meet up with, for example, the English VTuber, like, for example, I want to meet up with Amelia, even though Amelia isn't here anymore, no, she's streaming as Doobie, but like one of the English VTubers, I want to meet them up. I would make a system that we would only do it at a time that suits them, you know, so they don't get fucked up by the schedule, by the being needing to be awake at the middle of the night. That's not a good thing, you know. On vacations at 4 a.m., run back to the factory. We need you to do an emergency unpaid 4 days shift to fix random thing. Yes, it can be pretty rough in some jobs, you know, especially that type of jobs when you have to build processors, when you have to build chips, and all of those related jobs. It can be insanely bad in terms of schedule. Do you like it rough, Eureka? I mean, again, it depends on the context of the question. But if you mean in general, in my daily life, I like when it's sweet, you know. I don't want my days to be rough. But if you mean in a lewd situation, it depends on my mood. There are times where I like for people to be gentle with me, but then there are times, and usually those are times when I'm really, really horny. I'm like, okay, you can be rough. Fuck my shit up, Kuma. Fuck me up. You can be rough. I don't care. I'm too horny. Do it. Just do it now. Do it, Kuma. I don't care. I don't care. Yes, I'm too horny, I guess. I can be too horny. It depends. I don't know. Really, I don't know. Sometimes I feel that I'm not that horny, compared to the average people on the internet, but that's not true. I think that the way I go about it is different, you know. I'm not a horny poster in the sense that I'm not all the time on social media, the internet, or Discord, just posting all the time my horny thoughts, you know. I do it sometimes, but I don't do it all the time. You know how on Twitter there are people that they don't care. They share their lewd thoughts all the time, you know. They're horny posting, horny on main, you know. So I guess compared to those people, I'm not like that. But in the shit, you know, on how could I describe that? Like, but in closed doors, let's say in closed doors, I think I'm way more lewd than them, for sure, for sure. I don't show it. That's the thing. I just don't show it. Like, even when I'm streaming, I'm not the type. I think you will never see Eureka, for example, doing a stream where she will just be lewd from beginning to the end, with only a lewd focus, you know, nothing. Like, I think I wouldn't be able to do that, you know. So I guess in a way that's why I'm different. I don't know. Do you feel horny while streaming then? Currently, I am not horny. Currently, I am pretty neutral, you know, for some reason. Maybe because I just ate. Because usually when I eat, I feel neutral after eating. It's pretty rare that after eating, I get really horny. But yes, it happened in the past that I was horny while streaming, Kuma. It happened. It happened. Because really, I'm the type of person that can be horny at any times, I feel like. Even though nowadays, not as much as I used to be in the past. But yes, it can happen. So Samus in bikini. I haven't seen her yet, you know. I still want to beat Metroid, you know. That would be the plan. That's my plan for tomorrow. On Friday, if I still need Friday to beat it. But I want to beat Metroid 1 this week. And then keep playing the older Metroid games. Oh, by the way, I haven't talked about it because... And I haven't showed the picture. I wonder if I really have ADHD, because I still jump from left to right. Let me show you first. Not this one. That is Big Cyrano. Not this one. Not this one, Kuma. This old picture of Eureka version 1. It's nostalgic. I screened it. It's a picture that I put. I was checking my old Google Sheets, you know, because I made a ton of Google Sheets in the past because I wanted to do video game marathon. So I did one for Sonic, I did one for Mario, I did one for Kirby. I even did one for Looney Tunes games for some reason, but I guess I was really stunned when I did this one. And I put this picture in the Google Sheet for Sonic games. And here you can see my drip, you know, with my Sonic cap, my horny bat. Behind, I instantly recognize it. It was a time where I was streaming Rayman 3. I was streaming Rayman, the third game, because behind it you can recognize those are two life bars for the bosses in Rayman. Do you have that hat, IRL? Unfortunately not. I wish I had. I have a hat like this, but it's really big. Can I find it? Let me see if I can find you the model of my hat. But I don't know how is it called. I still have it, by the way. I have a snapback. It was called a snapback, you know. I don't know if you remember those ones. They used to be all the rage back in the early 2010s for some reason. And I had one. I had a snapback. If I can show you... here. I wish I had that hat too. Do I have my... Okay, I don't have it here. Where's Firefox? Here. Not this one though. Not this one, but I had one with hands like this, you know, the Mickey hands. I call them the Mickey hands because it reminds me of Mickey, you know, Mickey and his gloves, his white gloves. I call them the Mickey hands. And mine was teal colored, and it was doing a cooler sign than that. So I had a snapback like this that was teal colored. It had the sticker, like this one doesn't have a sticker, you know. Back then, snapbacks had a big ass stickers above the front, and you didn't remove the stickers for some reason. I still remember when I bought a snapback, I asked one of my friends, should I remove the sticker? And they told me, no, you don't remove the sticker. You shouldn't remove it. Because apparently it's better to not remove it. I mean, I don't know what was the code back then, but apparently you should leave the sticker on the cap. And so I had one like this, but teal colored, and the hands were doing a cooler sign, you know. They were doing kind of like the teen sign, you know. The character from Dragon Ball, when he's doing his how is it called again, his attack? Damn, I forgot. But pretty much he was doing another sign with the hands. And I had a cap like that. Snapback. But I don't have the Sonic one, unfortunately. I don't. Pain, Kuma. But yes, that is nostalgic, you know. Maybe there could be a surprise at some point, and Eureka version 1 could make a surprise appearance, you know, a cameo at some point. Who knows? Could be fun. Okay, so what I wanted to say next. All right, I wanted to show you, let me see. And then I should start doing my voice training. Believe it or not, right now, my voice feels nice. My voice is feeling nice right now. I did a bit of warming up before starting the stream, and I was doing it while playing this game, because there is a game that I got hooked up since yesterday. I'm going to show you. Got the picture. What if they fought to the death? Oh damn. If I fought against my previous self, I think I could win. I think I could win, but don't underestimate the power of the horny bat. Look at the weapon I used to have. The horny bat here. That is a strong weapon. Don't underestimate the power of the bat. I'm just telling you that, Kuma. Especially a bat. Bats are dangerous, you know. They're dangerous. Even more horny bats. 100% pure Nippon steel. Exactly. Exactly. That is really one of the most dangerous bats you could own, you know. I should find a new weapon, by the way, for Eureka version 2. I should find a new weapon that I could get. But the horny bat was powerful. It was a powerful part of my build, for sure. So this game, I was playing this game right here, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which is a game that obviously released on the Nintendo Switch. It released in 2024, and what is the concept of that game? Because you can see, I think the cover is actually really cool. And by the way, you can already see my mic here. Maybe I should put it on the side for now, because I was hiding myself here, by the way, because I didn't want to show the mic. That's why I was like on my knees, getting under the desk, Kuma. I was getting under the desk That is what Bolisu loves, by the way. He loves when people go under his desk. I know it. But well, anyway, I was talking about this game. This one. I got hooked to this because I started it yesterday. I had it on my backlog because actually it's a game that I got when it released last year. I mean, not exactly when it released. I actually got it when it was on sale, you know, because you know how much Eureka loves retro games, and it is a game, you can see it when you look at the cover. You can see Kirby from Kirby Adventure. You can see a Link from Zelda 2, the infamous Zelda game on NES. You can see Luigi from Mario 2. You can see Mario. You can see Kid Icarus. You can see the guy from Excite Bike. Most of the classics, Nintendo classics from the NES. And it's a game about speedrunning. So the thing in the game is that you have a lot of challenges for each game that you can beat. And you have to get the best rank, which is the S rank. Like, for example, one of the challenges would be beat the first level, like level 1-1, of Super Mario Bros. 1 as fast as possible. But there are also like small challenges, like for example, get the mushroom, the first mushroom as fast as possible. It's fun. It's really fun. I'm having fun with it, you know. I'm trying to get all of the S rank. Let me see if I can show you the trailer. The trailer, Kuma. I'm gonna show you. It's a fun game. I mean, I don't know if any of you own a Switch, by the way, because it's really the type of games I wish I knew more people that owned a Switch and were into retro games and so had this game so we could compare our times. Because I actually have a lot of friends who have a Nintendo Switch, but they're not necessarily that much into retro games, so they don't have this game. So let me show you. It was this one. So you can see how it looks. I'm just gonna pause this. I guess it's trailer. I guess it's going to be a chit-chat stream, as I said. I will try to look for the exercise to warm up my voice, but I feel that I'm already warming up my voice right now, just by talking. This was the one. And actually, I don't remember if I ever saw the trailer of this game, because I just got the game because I liked the cover back then, and I heard it was about retro games and speedrunning.
Speedrun against players from around the world in the Nintendo World Championships NES Edition game.
Oh, by the way, some context, by the way. Why is it called Nintendo World Championships? It is really a boomer, like an artifact from the boomer era. Because back in the NES and SNES games, Nintendo was actually organizing a world championships where people could gather and they would play against each other on NES games and trying to complete it as fast as they can, you know. So it was actually a real tournament, you know. It was a real thing. It existed. I own a Switch, but it's not been used in a while. In my case, I used my Switch a lot, actually. At first, when I got my Switch, a few months after release. I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I played Mario Odyssey, and then I stopped playing it for a long time. Because I was playing other stuff, I was still playing on my PlayStation 4, I was playing games on PC, like my Switch was taking the dust. And then at some point I just got back into the Switch and I started playing other games, like for example, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Luigi Mansion. I own Luigi Mansion. I also got a Fire Emblem Warriors, I think is the one I got. And I started getting more games on my Switch, and I had fun playing on portable modes with my Switch, you know. That's what when I realized that I could have fun playing with my Switch on the bed, that's when I started using it more, I guess, you know. Pretty much. So here it's an example. As you can see, it's an example. So here it's a challenge. That's one of the many challenges that you can complete in this game. Even though I wish Kuma there were more challenges. That's my only complaint about the game. I love the concept. I really do. I love the concept. I think it's really fun and addictive, but I wouldn't recommend you to get this game at full price. Like, this game cost $30. So it's still not it's not a $60 game. It's still not like the full price of, let's say, a AAA game. But still, I think that $30 is still expensive for this type of game because it lacks a bit of content. But still, it's really fun. And so here, to explain what happens, you have, for example, challenges. Here, you got Mario in one of the underground from level 1-1, and you have to get all of the coins here as fast as possible. And then you get your time, like personal best, with a rank. Like, for example, here, that person got an A+. The best rank you can get in every single challenges is S. So it's pretty fun to try to aim for the S rank, Kuma. Here you can see your controller. I think it's pretty cool because it shows you your inputs. And when you look at the replays, you can see the inputs you did, which is pretty important when you're doing speedruns, obviously. And all of the games, it's like that, like doing challenges, you know.
Compete for the best times in a variety of memorable moments from classic NES titles.
And here I did a new personal best. And I think you can do it quicker. I think I actually got the S rank for this one. But pretty much, it's really fun, you know. It's really short challenges, but I like speedrunning, you know. I'm not that good at speedrunning, but I like the concept.
Jump into short challenges that can be knocked out in no time.
So this is Ice Climbers.
Cruise through longer courses.
This is Excite Bike. And pretty much, I mean, I won't show all of the video, but that's pretty much the concept of the game. Every time you get a new challenge for each game, I think there is a list of 12 or 15 games, only Nintendo games, which is a shame. I wish they were games like, for example, Ninja Gaiden. I really love the Ninja Gaiden games for NES, but obviously it is not a Nintendo game, you know. So I guess they couldn't put it in that kind of compilation.
Sample playthrough showing.
So it's Mario 2.
You can also retry challenges instantly. So there's no time.
And yes, they talk about all of the features, you know, that it's pretty, that like in terms of ergonomy, it's pretty fast, it's pretty quick. Like, for example, if you fuck up, you can retry by pushing L+R. So you're still like doing your looping into the game. That's pretty cool. But what I wanted to show you, oh, and here is that's something that I discovered today. For each game, when you complete all of the other challenges, you unlock a master rank challenges. You know, there is a master challenge because there is challenges of varying difficulty. At first, you have the easy challenges, then you get the hard challenges, and then you get I think it was easy, medium, hard, and then you get a master challenge. And with the master challenge, there is a guide. And when you click on the guide, you have something like that in the style of an old manual, because you can see art here. Even though you can see it because it's hidden by the chat, but if I remove it, you can see, for example, Link an old art of Link, which is pretty cool, from the adventure of Link, and they pretty much tell you what you should do. They call it classified information. I think it's really cool.
Helpful tips and tricks. Put in the practice, then take
And there's
out
many
different
games
online-
that you can. And that's the thing too. There is a mode that they call World Championships. And what are the World Championships? You have to beat 5 challenges, like a series of 5 challenges, as fast as possible. And at the end of the time period, because there is a time limit, for example, the current challenge is until the 21st, You can participate in the current challenge until the 21st. At the end, they give you your ranking, And I think that's pretty cool. I like games when you get a ranking. Pretty much. I wish I could play it on stream, by the way. That's why I should eventually get a capture card for my Switch, obviously. All right. And here you can see the controller moving when you press
Next up
buttons.
is survival mode.
And there's survival modes. Survival mode, to summarize, is you fight against 7 other ghosts. So pretty much the recordings of people who beat the challenges. You play against the ghost, and you have to play a series of 3 challenges. And every time you have to be, like how it works, first challenge, you have to be in the top 4 to keep playing. Second challenge, you have to be in the top 2. And last challenge, obviously, you have to win. And I tried it yesterday, when I tried the game for the first time. I tried it yesterday, and I won first time, a gold challenge, because there is silver and there is gold. Gold is the hardest difficulty for the survival mode, and I won first try. I bought a fine capture card for 3 USD on Temu.com. Gonna send you the link. Oh, you could send it to me. You could, Balisu, because that could be interesting. The thing with capture card, if it's cheap, if it's cheap, it's a good thing, obviously, but it should work. Like, what I mean by that is, I remember my father actually brought me back a capture card from his job, because like I talked about it many times in the past, that my father at his job, like where my father is working, they drop a ton of old stuff in a room, old computers, old printers, old mice, keyboards, audio equipment, a ton of stuff. They leave it here, and it's to throw away. If you don't take it, it's to throw away. So what my father do, he brings stuff here at our home, and then we check what is working, what is unworking, and what is working, we sell it, because it's an easy way to make a quick buck. And amongst the things he could find, there was a capture card, and I actually installed it on my laptop. I set it up, I installed it, I connected it to my Switch, and it was working. I could see the output of my Switch. I could see it on OBS. But then, 3 minutes later, blue screen. I had a blue screen on my computer, Kuma, on my laptop. I tried it again twice after that. Like, I tried it another time and a third time, and it was working, but then blue screen. Because that's what's annoying with Windows 10. If there is something that it doesn't like, blue screen. I had it with my voice changer too. Back when I was using my voice changer, it was so fucking weird, because you know how it works? When you want to set up a voice changer, you have to set up a virtual, some kind of virtual microphone, on Windows. You set up a virtual microphone, and then you can use a software like Voicemeter, and thanks to that, you have a dedicated microphone, virtual one, that you can use to redirect your voice changer. That's pretty much the setup I was using when I was streaming as Eureka version 1. For some reason, I kid you not, every week, usually it was 1 week or 2 weeks, it depends, but every week or 2 weeks, I was getting a blue screen on my laptop at some point. At first, I thought that it was because my laptop was dying, you know. I thought it was just my laptop that was dying and that for some reason when I use it too much, I was getting blue screen. But then I actually went out of my way to troubleshoot it. I wanted to know exactly why I was getting a blue screen, because Eureka, as the great scientist, you know, I'm a scientist and also a computer scientist, you know, there is scientist in computer scientists. That's one of my many skills. I'm pretty good at finding the roots of problems. So I check it and I actually found that what was triggering a blue screen on my computer was the virtual microphone. That for some reason, after a week or 2 weeks, I was always getting blue screen because of the microphone, the virtual microphone. When I decided to throw away my voice changer, you know, to stop using it, maybe some of you remember, I think Bolisu was here the very first stream I decided to stream without using my voice changer, and I think there were other people too. But I threw it away, I uninstalled everything, and I never had a blue screen again. So sometimes you don't know why, but Windows doesn't like it. They doesn't like when you install drivers, weird drivers. Like for example, if you want to install a virtual microphone, or if you want to install a weird capture card, they don't like it. Windows Sama don't like it. Let me drink. I've been yapping a lot. That's when you know my voice is doing fine. So yes, top 8, you fight against 7 other people, then you get top 4 if you want to keep playing. Then there is 4 opponent, then you get top 2, and then you have to win. And I actually won the gold division. So there is the silver division, the gold division, and I won in the gold one. I also won in the silver one, but I prefer playing of the gold one for the true opponents, Kuma.
Or take on the gold division for a tougher gauntlet of challenges. The challenges refresh each week, so give it your all while they're live.
The challenges are cool.
Do you have what it takes to
Metroid! I've been playing some of the Metroid challenges, funnily enough, because to warm up for tomorrow's stream. Because I want to beat it. I want to beat Metroid NES on stream, that's for sure. That is a pretty cool game. I know that some people, for some reason, they're not really that much of a fan of the first Metroid game, but I guess it's similar to what people thinks about the first Sonic the Hedgehog. That since it's missing some of the features that became a staple in the series, people are confused, I guess, when they're playing the game.
Last player standing?
And yes, you can get pins. So this is just the cosmetic aspect of the game. You can buy pins because every time you complete a challenge or you replay a challenge and complete it, you get coins. With your coins, you can buy avatars here. Pretty much, are those the avatars or the pins? Those are the avatars, not the pins. Those are the avatars. So you can get avatars. At first, I was using this one, by the way. I like the Mario one with the shoe, you know, because Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of my favorite game ever, and one of my favorite NES game. Usually, I really love Super Mario Bros. 3, I love Ninja Gaiden, and I love Kirby's Adventure, you know, on the NES. Those games are sick.
And your favorite NES game to create a profile. Or meet
and yes, you can actually choose your favorite game in your profile. And what is really funny, you can pick between NES games or Famicom games. Famicom, or the family computer, being the Japanese version or original version of the NES. And you get a full list of games. And if you pick Famicom, obviously the titles are in Japanese. So if you want to put a Japanese game that you loved, you can do it. I don't know if the list is exhaustive. I didn't actually went out of my way to check if it was missing something or not, but I think it's pretty cool. So for example, even though Ninja Gaiden isn't in this game, you can choose to have Ninja Gaiden as your favorite game.
What you're made of with a profile that's all your own.
I love this Kirby sprite. Really funny one. Now the schizo take is Gura was a 4chan Jani and her email got leaked. What forced her to graduate? Where did you read this? Is 4chan still down, by the way? Because I think it got leaked. That was also one of the other big news. Is it still down? Let me see. Obviously, I won't show it to you on stream because I would rather avoid streaming 4chan on Twitch because you never know what to expect. I think it's still down. I can't go on the site, you know. I can't believe it too. That's some weird ass conspiracy theory. That's some weird ass. Where did you read this, Boris? Actually, I would be curious. Do you have the threads where they talk about it, or was it on Twitter? Because actually, believe it or not, I think conspiracy theory are fun, you know. I don't believe in them, you know. I'm not that stupid to believe every single conspiracy, you know. Some of them can have. I dropped my bottle. Fortunately, it was closed, so no trouble. On Twitter, formerly x.com. Okay, なるほど. Nah, I don't believe it, because even if that was the case, what's the problem? I mean, like, let's say Gura was 4chan Jani. She was moderating, and her email got leaked. It sucks, obviously, but I guess she could change her email. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and even then, more seriously, if it was relating to doxing, because obviously there is the doxing problem with that, obviously we shouldn't talk about it, for sure. We shouldn't talk about it, but that's how would you say that in English? You know, I know the expression in French, but that's not a secret, pretty much, in the sense that when you get a big VTuber and you join a big corporation like HoloLive or Nishisanji, and that's a bit sad that it always happens, but you almost always get doxed in some ways. Obviously, I wouldn't tell you to do that, but a lot of VTubers got, like, their face got doxed, you know, unfortunately, you know, because when you join a big platform, obviously you have a big following, and some people are really lame, you know, and some people have a lot of time to lose, and they will try to dox you. So to me, I would argue that unfortunately for a lot of VTuber, they get doxed even before something like that happens. The other schizo take was Elon Musk is the one behind the 4chan hack because he wants to do X-chan in his absurd attempts to be cool. It's true that there was this rumor that Elon these nuts wanted to buy 4chan. But I'm going to give you the true take, Kuma. 4chan sucks since at least 2010. And if I'm more kinder, if I'm not too severe, since 2012, I think that modern 4chan sucked for years now. Yeah, like really, I was still using 4chan from time to time, but I think it sucks. Like modern 4chan sucks. To me, the golden age of 4chan, if you ask Eureka, the golden age was between 2006 and 2010. And if you want to make it a bigger time span, let's say time span, I would say between 2006 and 2012. But I think the real golden age of 4chan was 2006, 2010. And why do I say 2006? Because I'm a big anime board user. You know, I used to post a lot in the anime board. And back in 2006, you had the iconic Code Geass airing, you know. That's when Code Geass released. And when Code Geass released, you know the anime with Lelouch Lampeluge, Lelouch Lampe Rouge, as they would say in French, you know, because it's a French name. But when Code Geass released and was airing, it got really big on 4chan, on the anime board. And people were posting a lot of memes, funny memes, by the way. And that was really fun to post on the anime board back then. There was Code Geass, and then there was Madoka. Madoka was 2010 or 11, right? I think it was 2010 or 11. But Madoka was also really, really funny to be on the anime board at that time, you know, when there was the airing of Madoka. So to me, those years in the anime boards between 2006 and 2010, and I say 2006 because back before that, I wasn't browsing 4chan. I was too young. I'm a Zoomer. I mean, a baby. I was a baby back then, you know. But 2006 is really when I started using it, you know, getting curious about it. I read that was a golden age. But recent years 4chan was bad, you know. 4chan to me is bad since, if you really want to push it, since the first Trump election, you know, since the first time when Trump got elected, I think that 4chan was not that good, to me at least, Kuma. But that's how I see it. I remember the green hair girl. Ass. Yes, it was ass. Exactly. Party mode. This one I want to try it with my... I think you can play it online too. Party mode. So if I knew other people who had this game, I could play it against them. But I could play it against my brother too, you know. I wanted to make my brother try out this game. When are you doing an armpit reveal stream, Eureka? Armpit should be a big reward, Kuma. It should be a big reward. Right now you can't see it. My armpits are very well hidden. I mean, even my boobie is like hiding my armpits. So let's say I wasn't wearing my blouse. You wouldn't even see my armpit. You couldn't even see a peek of it because of this. Because of this, Kuma. Because of this, you couldn't see it. Too big. Too big to see. But I guess I could do the reveal at some point. Could be fun. Could be fun, Kuma.
Looking for more ways
you
to
don't
play?
have a
Ignite
Switch,
the spirit
Barisi,
of
right?
competition and
I
go
don't know if I
head-to-head
asked you
with
this.
up to 8 players
If you had
globally in
any
party mode.
video game consoles, or if you didn't have
Play your favorite
anything because
challenges or compete
it's
for the
way
top
too
score
expensive in
theme challenge
Latin
packs.
America, because I know that in Latin America you're getting fucked by the taxes. And obviously, like for example, Bolis is from Chile, but I know that people from Brazil, it's insane for them to buy a console. They can, in Brazil, for example, if you're Brazilian, you're fucked because everything is so expensive. And that is why that Brazilians were actually buying PlayStation 2 until the late 2010s, you know, until the late 2010s, because PlayStation 2 were more affordable than the other video game console. I have a Wii and a PS1. That's great. Great consoles. I love the Wii. I am a big Wii enthusiast. I love the Wii. I think the Wii is great. I think the Wii is great, even to this day. And I kind of hate, there was a bit of revisionism, or how I can say this, I've seen some people criticize the Wii, you know, especially people that are into retro games and retro consoles like me. I've seen people criticizing the Wii because they said, oh, it was just a gimmick, motion controls were annoying, because now if you want to emulate the games, it's annoying to play because you need the Wiimote and you need to set it up. I think they're just whining. I think they're bitches, Kuma. They're bitches because the Wii back then, if you didn't have a Wii, you didn't have a childhood. The Wii was peak. I loved the Wii. Bundling Wii Sports with the Wii was genius. Thanks, Reggie, for that. Reggie Fils-Aimé was the CEO of Nintendo of America back then. Like, it was really based, because it's actually thanks to him, thanks to Reggie, that we got Wii Sports bundled as a game with the Wii and not as a purchasable game. And just using the Wiimote, doing stuff, playing against your brother, playing against you. I think the Wii was peak. The more time passes, and the more I start to think that the Nintendo Wii could be in my top 3 of best consoles ever, because I miss it. I have such a big nostalgia for the Wii. The Wii was so great. I loved it. The PS4 controller can work perfectly as a Wii remote on the emulator thing. Yes, you can use alternatives. Exactly. Kind of like, for example, if you want to play 3DS games, and you want the I forgot how is it called, but the thing that lets you move, you know how in some games, in some 3DS games, you could move the console and the game would move, there was some gimmick with that. If you want to do it on emulation, you can get a Switch controller, for example, use the Switch controller on the 3DS emulator, and it would work. So there is a workaround with that. Exactly. Even though if it was me, I haven't set up again the Wii emulation, but I wonder if I could do it with my Wiimote. I'm sure it's doable, but I want to do it. Or again, I get a capture card and I capture my Wii or my Wii U, because I got a Wii U too. Oh, and by the way, this is the limited edition, because there was a physical limited edition of this game. Because again, I've been playing about this. I've been talking about this game now because I got hooked up by this game since yesterday. Actually, even today, before setting up my stream, I was still playing it. And there was a physical edition, and you can see like here on my right, that's a replica of an old school NES cartridge, Unfortunately, I don't have it, I don't own it, and I'm pretty sure it was limited when they did it, the limited edition, but still, it's pretty cool. Even though it's just cards, like here you can see cards with the covers of the games, I guess, that is in the compilation. Okay.
Look, a game pack are also
So pretty much that was it. So I'm having fun. I will try to get all the S ranks on this game. So I guess I could keep you up to date on that, even though I wish I could stream it, So really, that's one of my next goals, getting a Switch capture card, that would be fun. But yes, pretty fun game, Kuma. Pretty fun game. Let me put back my... playlist. I've been yapping a lot, but that's good. That's really good. My voice is feeling nice. Now let's check. I think I have a file for that, but I have to look it up for the type of exercises I could do. My goal actually would be to have a routine, a 10 minutes to 20 minutes routine, warm-up routine that I could do to warm up my voice before streaming, so it won't happen. You know those type of situations where sometimes I start to stream again after a few days where I haven't streamed and my voice is struggling. I swear, when I streamed Metroid, the first Metroid stream, or was it the second one? I think it was the second one. And I was streaming and I struggled to speak. The one when I was reading the game manual, exactly, the game manual, so it was the second one, I was struggling. And then 1 hour and 30 into the stream, after taking a quick break, my voice got acclimated, my voice got warmed up, and I was feeling better to talk. So I would like to avoid this type of situation in the future, because obviously when you stream, you want to be able, top tier, I want to be at my peak charisma, kuma. Because I know I have a lot of charisma, but when you're getting hindered with your voice or something else, it impacts your charisma, kuma. I'm thirsty again. Nice too. Conspiracy theories, kuma. That's really fun. Maybe I could do a stream like that. Maybe not about VTubers, because I wouldn't want to start to speculate too much about VTubers, But doing streams about conspiracy theories could be fun. Oh, Bodisu, you know what you just said right now? I had the same reaction. Not that long ago. It's pretty funny you're talking about it. The Nintendo DS indeed released in 2024, in 2004, and I was mind-fucked, because for me, the DS is 2006. For years, I thought the DS was 2006, but it was 2004. And you know what's even more crazy? Let me show you. Crazier things. It's not necessarily the release date of the Nintendo DS. Let me show you something more crazy. The Game Boy Advance. You all remember the Game Boy Advance, right? You all remember it. Of course. The famous Game Boy Advance. Look at the release date here. Here. Let's pick the Japanese original release date, but you could pick any of the others because it didn't release that long after in America and Europe. 2001. So to me, Bolisu, the real mindfuck isn't that the DS came out in 2004. The real mindfuck is the Game Boy Advance had a lifespan of only 3 years. It is insane to me. Like the Game Boy Advance was here alone as the new portable Nintendo console for only 3 years. Now, don't get me wrong, because what they did with the Game Boy Advance, that's what I remember. When the Nintendo DS released, they kept pushing Game Boy Advance games for a few years after that. So, of course, in 2004, the Game Boy Advance and their later iterations, so the Game Boy Advance SP, like you remember that one too, they were still being used, but only 3 years you had the Game Boy Advance alone. And to me that's the craziest part, because the Game Boy Advance has such a big library of games. To me, if you asked me before, Eureka, how long the Game Boy Advance lasted, I would have told you 6 or 7 years before the release of the Nintendo DS. I would never say you 3 years. 3 years is nothing. To me, that is a real mindfuck. Obviously, the DS releasing in 2004, but the Game Boy Advance only had a 3-year lifespan where it was alone, you know, like the only modern Nintendo handheld console. That is the crazy part, Kuma. We learn new stuff every day. That's what I love about life, you know. Every day you learn something new. Let me see, Kuma. So, warm-ups. Let's see the warm-ups first. I have something to prepare because, as I said, I've been playing Nintendo World Championships a bit too much since yesterday because in a typical Hikinito way, like Eureka is a Hikinito, I got hooked up by a game, but let me see if I can get... Let me see. Because I actually asked GPT-chan, believe it or not, to give me some advice for warming ups. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can get a PDF of this. So I get the file and then I can show it on stream, and then we can start doing those voice warm-up things, you know. Maybe you could do it with me. You, while watching the television, you could do it. Doing the voice warm-ups. It's so nostalgic to me, you know, those type of stuff, like those warm-ups. Because I said that in high school, I used to do theater, you know, during French class. Because our teacher, for some reason, wanted us to do theater as a special activity for the last 2 years at high school. And that was really fun. That was really fun, Kuma. Oh, I think I got it. Let me see if it worked. Oh, nice. Okay, I got it. I got it. Let me just do it like this. I will put it here, I guess. I can close those links, by the way, because I don't need to have a lot of tabs opened. Of course, Kuma. Then let's go back to my other scene here. This is it. This is the PDF I got from GPT-chan, or GPT-san, or GPT-kun. Still don't know if he's a boy, or a girl, or a genderless robot. I don't know. I don't know, Kuma. Let's see. So I guess I will put myself... I guess I could put myself here. I will let myself here. Would be better, Kuma. So let's read. Let's read the thing, and you could also give me some advice, you know, if some of you are specialized in warming up your voice. I guess warming up your voice and warming up your throats could work in a lot of context, you know. Not only the streaming context, obviously there is streaming, there is singing, there is having a speech in front of people, but also there is other activities, you know, Kuma, with your throats. You can use your mouth and your throats in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, Kuma, believe me. A sex robot? I don't know. I think GPT-kun, let me call him GPT-kun, isn't a sex robot because he's pure, you know. You can't ask him for sex, you know. If you want to ask for sex, you should go for those other chatbots, you know. There was a website, I forgot the name. Spicy Chat. Bolisu, if you're curious, try Spicy Chat. Bolisu. That is the advice I can give you. And any of you guys, if you're curious to try out lewd chatbots, you should try spicy chat. Because as the name suggests, it is spicy. You will be able to meet spicy chat robots and do whatever you want with them, you know, lewd with them. That's fun. Really fun, Kuma. So anyway, let's start. Pre-stream voice warm-up routine. That's exactly what I want to do. So first, let's count how many minutes it would take. So 2 minutes, so 4, 7, and 3 makes it 10, 12, and then here are the bonus tips. So in total, it would be 12 minutes, which is great because I was looking to have a routine that would take me 10 to 15 minutes at most, because obviously I don't want to warm up for hours and hours, you know. I want to do something that I'm able to do it quick just before streaming, or if, for example, I have to start the stream really quickly because I was busy and stuff, I could still do it during a stream and it would only take me 10 minutes to warm up. That's what I was looking for. What about two people that are far away get a sex robot that mimics each other movements long distance? I love the way you think, Bolisu. Did I talk? I think I talked about it in the past. I talked about it in the past, Kuma. Just let me... I think I would just drop it down a little bit here. But yes, I'm pretty sure I talked about it in the past. But that would be fun if there were ways to improve the looting experience on the internet. And by improving exactly what you said, Bolisu, making it more interactive. And by making it more interactive, it could involve, as you said, robots. The use of robots that would, maybe for example, based on what is written in the chat. Like for example, let's say you're chatting with someone and all of the chat can serve as a prompt for the robots to read the prompt and then apply what it's doing. That's a great idea, Bolisu. You're a genius. You should do it. You should invent it. You would be a billionaire, you know. If you can do it right now, if we could do it right now, we would be billionaires, you know. Because sex sells. Believe it or not, guys, sex sells. That's pretty much one of the basic stuff in life, you know. If you can make something lewd and something good and you can sell it, it will sell and you will make a shit ton of bucks, Kuma. Most I could do is a robot that screams. That's already something. But why would he be screaming, Kuma? A robot in pain, Kuma. He's in pain. But anyway, my other idea, but that is a more advanced idea and we're far from it. But if there was a way to make some sort of tiny portal, you know, a portal that, for example, if you want, you would put your hands in the portal and the hand would appear in front of the other person. And let's say you want to grab something. Let's say you want to grab. Can be anything. I let it to your imagination. But let's say you want to grab something from the other person. You would just use your portal. I guess we could do a system with a black hole, you know, to make a teleporter. You would use your hand towards the portal. It will appear in front of the other person and then you can grab it. You can start grabbing it, Kuma. Because don't get me wrong, robots are nice, but obviously it will never replace the real stuff. Are you just describing a glory hole? Pretty much that would be pretty much a glory hole. You're right, Bolisu. That would be it. The difference is that you can use it as a portal, you know, a portable portal glory hole, you know, a glory hole where you wouldn't need to necessarily be on a specific specific place. So you wouldn't need to go on a stall, you know, a toilet stall, because, okay, glory hole, the concept is hot, but I always thought it was kinda gross, Kuma. Kinda gross, because when you look at the places where people make glory holes, it's always in bathroom stalls, in toilets. It's always in dirty place, Kuma, you know. So that's what is putting me off a little bit, you know. I like the concept. I really like the concept of glory hole, but I don't like where it's done, you know. But I guess they do it here because it's a way to do it in a hidden place, you know. That's why oftentimes it's in bathrooms and toilets. Well, anyway, 12 minutes. Just let me... And I like that I keep my picture of Eureka version 1. I think we will leave it here. And also, let me get my mic. I forgot. Could make it a bit smaller. Oh, you can read it like that. Nani? Why am I jerking... Nani? Why am I jerking it off? It's moving by itself. It's alive. What? Look at this. Is that a broom? What the fuck? Why is it moving like that? Am I using it like a broom? What? And why is it so small? Like it looks like not even a broom, but like a Hoover, you know, the thing you use to clean the house. What? Stay calm. Okay, it calmed down, but now, how do I put it back? How do I use this mic? How did I do? Honey? Get straight! Get straight. I can't use my mic. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, Kuma. I am a quirky individual. This is the mic I will use. I don't care. If you're not happy with this mic, I don't care, Kuma. This is how I use my mic. I keep moving it and jerking it off until the end. That is how I use my mic. Exactly, Kuma. That is the typical Eureka experience. I don't do stuff as other people. So this is how I'm going to use my mic. Whether you like it or not, Kuma. Anyway. I was talking about warming up. Relaxation and posture. 2 minutes. Everything you said the past 2 minutes could be interpreted in other ways. As, I mean, bodysuit. Not just 2 minutes. I'm sure you could pick any of my stream and pick a random moment, and you would have a high chance to get, you know, an out of context Eureka moment when you would be wondering, what the fuck is she saying? Is she talking about loot stuff again? Why? Why is she talking about that? She's playing a game and she's talking about sucking all kind of stuff. She's talking about jerking off people. Like what? Nani? Nani sole? But look at my mic, it's crazy. Neck rolls. Gently roll your neck side to side, front to back. So the neck rolls, I already do it. Even though I stopped for a bit these last few days because I was feeling tired and so I was skipping my stretching routine. So I should start stretching again, but I was doing the neck rolls. So I will do it now. I mean, I'm not sure if obviously the face tracking will track it accurately, but let me do them. So gently roll your head side to side. Like this. I think I will do it 5 times. This is how I move, Kuma. By jerking my mic. Front to back. actually like this. Like this, Kuma. This is how I do it. Let me show you. This is how I do it, Kuma. I go on my knees like this. Not my mic. I go on my knees like this and then up, down, up, down. Like this. This is how you do the neck rolls. By the way, Kuma, usually when I do exercise, that's something I would recommend you to do, by the way, because it's really hard. That's why it's something that I think it would be better, obviously, for me. Like here, I show it to you as an example, an illustration of what would be a good warming up routine if you want to warm up your voice. And as you say, like, this part is specifically important. But what I wanted to say is, usually when I do exercise, I don't talk, because obviously you're doing effort, even to the neck rolls, like doing neck rolls like this and like that. It's not the hardest, but you're still spending energy. So obviously it's hard to do exercise by talking at the same time, you know. So usually I would just get mute like this and get down on my knees and then getting focused on my targets, Kuma. That's how I would do it. That was the neck rolls. Pretty important part. But really, seriously though, the neck rolls are great. People skip them a lot, you know, this part. Let me put it maybe a bit bigger here. The neck rolls. This part is really good. Like, people skip it. They think it doesn't do anything, but it's really useful. It is really useful. You will thank your neck for having done it. And also, when you do sports, any type of sports that relies, that wears a danger regarding your neck. We were talking about wrestling, you know, last time. Like, we were talking about wrestling because WrestleMania is getting close the next weekend, you know. Next weekend is WrestleMania. It'll be fun. Wrestlers, it's really dangerous for them because obviously they do a ton of crazy stuff and they always have the risk to break their neck. And there was a pretty recent example where a wrestler named bigot, who actually broke his neck during it was during a random Raw, I think. I remember a few years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. He broke his neck, and that was really a bad accident because he really broke it, but really in a bad way, and he had to get operated. And usually you don't want to get an operation on your neck because you don't know what would be the consequences. Like, you could get paralyzed or you could not walk anymore. In his case, he got operated and then he managed to, like, immediately he could start re-educating himself and start easily walking again. And why it happened? It's because they saw that his neck was so strong. He had such a strong neck that it protected him, or pretty much took the brunt of the hit. And thanks to his neck, his strong neck, he avoided the worst consequences. So that's how having a strong neck is important. So do your neck rolls. Neck rolls are good. I would recommend it, Kuma. So next one. Shoulder rolls. Forwards and backwards 10 times each. So if I know what the shoulder rolls are, because I'm already doing it during my stretching routine, but we will look at a video to show it right now, Kuma. Let me show you a video of it. If it's exactly what I think about. the shoulder rolls. But I'm pretty sure what it is, you know. Shoulder rolls are... Oh, damn. Sometimes you should also pay attention of the video you're showing, like fitness videos, because a lot of times I found videos, like fitness videos, where the person in question was really in a lewd attire, you know. But like really on purpose. Like here it's pretty standard, you know, like there's nothing special about it, I would say. But like I've seen it in the past where the fitness channel was also, as I could say, like a titty channel, you know, or a butt channel, you know. Like it was about fitness, but it was also about looting, in a way. Oh, it's already pinpointed in the right, but I guess because I started it. So those are the shoulder rolls. That's exactly what I thought it was. I'm already doing them, you know, during my stretching routines.
Forwards and down in a circular movement.
You can do it backwards, and you can do it forwards. Exactly. Okay. I don't need to know more than that. I was already doing them, so let me do it. I will stand up though. Since my webcam, it's actually my laptop webcam, a 15 FPS laptop webcam. I kid you not, Kuma. But anyway, since my webcam is on my laptop, I guess it won't track me anymore for now, but I will do it now, just quickly, 10 times each. Forward and backwards. Let me do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I could put my mic a bit higher, but just I will do it like this. Put myself like this. Put my mic higher so you can still hear me. Backwards. Let's do it backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You couldn't see it accurately, but I did them. The shoulder rolls. Like all of those exercises, it's not necessarily for voice, by the way, but it's for relaxation. And you would ask me then Eureka, why are you doing that for your voice? It's because that in order to talk well, you have to be relaxed, you know. You have to feel well. In the sense, like, if you stretch, do your neck rolls, do your shoulder rolls, stretch, and then you're ready, you're relaxed, your voice will be relaxed too. And I think the neck is important, because when you're talking, you're using your throat, obviously, but it's related to your neck. And especially when you're a tuba, like me, and you're moving left and right during reactions and doing like lots of weird and kinky and lewd stuff like me, you have to move. So you have to be relaxed. Exactly, Kuma. So next one. I'm just trying to put my mic back again. That's fun. Fun stream, Kuma. So let's put myself back in here next to my Pikachu P. I call him Pikachu P, you know, like Misty or Kasumi in Pokemon. If you watch the Pokemon anime in Japanese, because I've watched a lot of the Pokemon anime in Japanese, the way Misty call Pikachu in the anime, and I say Misty, I should say Kazumi in that case, because Kazumi is her Japanese name. She calls him Pikachu P, you know. That's the way she calls him. She doesn't call him Pikachu, she calls him Pikachu P. Like a moe way to call a Pikachu, pretty much. So next one. Jaw release. I don't know what it is. Massage your jaw and wiggle it gently side to side. So massaging, I can see it. like this. See, it's pretty fun because it feels like it's the same move as that, you know, I was doing. Why is my mic getting so big? Like when you were jerking it off, Kuma. Eureka P. Pikachu P. That's really how he's called, by the way, you know. Like Misty calls Pikachu P in the Japanese version of Pokemon. That's how it is. Okay, I think that was how it's done, right? Let me see again. Joe release. Here. Joe release. Massage your jaw and wiggle it gently side. What does, I mean, I know what wiggle means, but wiggle gently side to side. Does it mean I should move like with my hand, my jaw left and right? Does it mean that? By the way, Volios, if you're getting confused at the way my microphone is moving right now, every time I'm moving and talking, it is just the way Eureka uses her microphone. It is the way I'm using my microphone, Kuma. So if any of you guys are not used to that, I don't care, Kuma. I'm different. I use my microphone like that. I jerk it off left and right. When we need a face rub redeem. Oh, that could be interesting. Face rub. But do you mean getting a face rub from me? Because unfortunately, it would be hard for me to touch you people right now, Kuma. Unless we manage to invent the robot we were talking about, you know, the policy robot, where everyone would have a robot and I could input commands and then the robot will do to you what I want it to do, you know. For example, if I want the robot to rub your face, I would write, or maybe I could use it as a redeem. You would redeem, rub my face, and the robot would be rubbing your face, you know. But if we could do it, we would be billionaire, you know, doing robots like that. Let me see the Joe release though, because I want to see more about it. It was here. I don't know why I closed YouTube, by the way, because I should keep it if I want to check for other videos. Joe release. This one. Not O release, Joe release. Onegai shimasu. Instant TMJ and jaw pain relief. What is this? What is this?
Here's how to get instant TMJ and jaw pain relief. I'm going to go over the exercise first and then I will
maybe
demonstrate it.
just let me pause it 2 seconds, because maybe I will pause my plays for now every time I'm looking at videos. Your mic acts like the leak in the Loituma meme. The Loituma meme? What is that again? Loituma meme? I thought you were going to say like, oh, that's how she's called. You're right. You're right. I just, like, usually when I think about this meme, I just think about Mikulik, you know. That's why I call it usually lick spin or Mikulik. That's why I call it. But it's true you can call it Loituma too. That's right. So we did think about the same thing. Nice. Nice-oo. So let me see if he's going to talk about like the Joe releases, because I'm curious.
Here's how to get instant TMJ and jaw pain relief. I'm going to go over the exercise first and then I will demonstrate it. So whatever side that you're having TMJ pain, let's say it's your right side, take your index finger on that side, apply light pressure over the joint. Take your other index finger, put it over your chin and also apply light pressure. From there, you're going to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth and then slowly open and close your mouth 10 times. And with
Let me try this. I mean, this is weird because I feel like it's talking about something else. Let me try. So he said, a finger on your ear, the other one on your chin, and then I should put my tongue on the roof of my mouth, and then I should do the, like, moving my mouth. Okay, I did it. That is weird. That is weird. A weird thing to do. I don't know if those are specifically the jaw relief exercises I was looking for, but...
Each repetition, build into it just a little bit more. So this is what it looks like.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I guess I could do them though, because it's a way... Apparently, it's a way to relieve your jaw too, you know? Because again, here in this part, we're talking about the relaxation and posture, you know? Because in order to be able to talk properly, you want to be relaxed. So obviously there are the neck rolls and the shoulder rolls that I already do, by the way, during my stretching routine, you know? Like I was already doing them when I was stretching. So I can assume that stretching is obviously good when you want to stream and to talk. Because in order to be able to talk well, you want to be relaxed. And then there is the jaw release, which makes even more sense. It makes even more sense because when you're talking, your jaw moves, for sure, you know. Your mouth moves a lot. So if your jaw is all, how can I say it? It's not relaxed. That, for example, you have pain in your jaw, or your jaw is like not moving as you want it to move, you will struggle to talk. And I know it happened to me in the past. It did happen to me in the past where I had days when I want to talk, but I can't talk because my mouth isn't moving as I want. And not even when I'm streaming, even when I'm not streaming, I already had days in the past where I was just wanted to talk, like for example, to my parents or my brother, and I was struggling because it wasn't a day where I was feeling like talking for some reason. But isn't there another similar exercise? Relax your tight jaw in only 2 minutes. I guess that's one could be interesting.
Ever feel like you're clenching your jaw really tight and you just can't seem to relax it? Maybe you're a teeth grinder at night, you just have a lot of stress, maybe you have a little TMJ disorder.
The background is nice, right? I don't know her the way, I don't know in which room she is, like if it's her main room or like a specific room she set up for her videos, but I think it looks nice.
So what do we do for a little quick...
Oh, by the way, I forgot. Let me pause it quickly.
Fix. Warm up your hands.
Warming up.
Put them on either sides of your head, because believe it or not, your jaw muscles actually go all the way up there.
That's true.
Take a deep breath and then start sliding the hands just down the sides of the face, down the jaw, and as you slide, let the bottom just fall open, like you're saying, duh. Hopefully no one's watching you do this.
Yes, that's true. That's the thing with those type of exercises, you know. Like usually you want to do them by yourself because you're always making funny faces when you do that. But here she's pretty much stretching her jaw and her muscles in her cheeks and everything related to that. So it's a great way to relax your jaws, I guess.
Just let it fall.
You fall it down.
All the way down. Relax the tongue. See if you can just let the bottom dangle as if just dangling from its hinge.
Damn, she's really stretching it until the end.
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
does that in his
When you're
lodge
there,
before his
it helps to get
birthdays.
your-
I think it could be funny to see the backstage, you know, of Jeff birthdays. You know how he prepares before the big birthday. For sure, I'm sure he has some routines like that, or maybe I don't know. He have some lucky charm he's using. You know, we don't know. Or maybe he asked Kojima to give him a kiss on his butthole to give him luck. Who knows? Like some kind of weird kinky shit he has with Kojima, because he's always inviting Kojima to his birthdays anyway. So I'm sure there's something going on between both of them, you know, and maybe something kinky or shady between them. Who knows? But yes, each for sure has routines or lucky charms or secret stuff he's doing.
On the little massage. So if you just go right under the bone, right behind the jawbone there, and you just do a little gentle with the thumbs, just really little.
Oh, maybe that's what they mean by wiggling my jaw. That could be a way to do it too.
Warm up the tongue. And just take a deep breath and feel your jaw loose, dropped. Maybe keep it hanging out there for a while if you're in a place no one can see you. And I'll see you soon. Check out rachel-richards.com.
なるほど. I should do that. I will do that. Because really, I noticed it in the past that sometimes when I struggle to talk is really because of this. Like my jaw is tight, too tight. I can't move it as I want. So I guess I could do it. So what she said is, you put your, I guess I will do it like that. You put your hands here at the top, then you go all the way down by having your mouth open. I guess it would be hard for me to just show you like that, but maybe you should do it too. Like, it could help you. I did it. Doing it, Kuma. Weird. It's weird for me because I feel like my head isn't really that big, you know? You know how some people have bigger heads than other people? I think I don't have a big head, you know, compared to other people. So when I do it, it feels like I'm doing it really quickly. I did it again. And then the other thing she said is putting your thumb under your chin, and then you're using your tongue. And then doing, like, she was doing a noise, right? She was doing like trying to stretch her jaws pretty much and like wiggle it. Damn. If someone ends up on the stream right now, they will think, what the fuck? What is this weird shit? What is happening, Kuma? Okay. I guess like this. But I said wiggle it gently side to side. So I also thought about doing it like something like this, like using your fingers, holding your jaw, and then going left, right, left, right, left, right, like this, pretty much. But believe it or not, like these exercises that I'm doing right now, I'm not even doing it in an optimal way, because as I said, this type of routine is something that I would like to do before my streams, you know, to feel better about talking and not have a situation that happened in the past where I struggled to talk at the beginning of the stream. But here, just by making some of those exercises right now, just trying them out, I feel my face is getting more relaxed. So it does work, Kuma. It does. Oh, hello, hello. Konnichiwa. Hope you're doing good. My stream is open to, as I said in the past, to English people and Japanese, Nihongo too. Obviously, my Japanese is really basic, but if you want to write in the chat, you can. I can use a translation tool, you know, to talk to, if I could. I could, Kuma. I'm good at it. Even though, well, the stream I'm doing right now, obviously, like with everything written in English, I don't know how well your English is, Kuma, but welcome to the stream anyway. Welcome, yokoso. Hope you're doing fine. I'm doing great. Doing some exercise. Let me see if I can, like, again. But that's one of my goals. I want to start my Japanese again. But let me see if I can say something. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me try, guys. I'm trying. I don't care. Like, I don't even care if it doesn't, but I'm trying. I will trust GPT, by the way, even though, like, from what he's telling me right now, it seems to make sense. But if I have to say what I'm doing right now, farm the XP. The XP? What XP? So, 今配信で発声練習してるよ。配信で発声練習してるよ。So what I said is, I'm doing warm-up exercises on stream right now. That is what I'm doing right now. 練習. That's what I'm doing. 練習 means exercise in Japanese. That is the word. For example, when you look at sport anime, they use that word a lot, you know, 練習, because it's about exercising, doing exercise, repeating, you know. Farm the XP to level up. Leveling up. Should I level up my ahoge? My ahoge, Kuma? My big ahoge. That's what I could level up here. This thing. I could level up my ahoge, Kuma. Kuma. I could do it. Anyway, the thing that I wish I could do with what were you talking about, by the way, Bolisu? When you actually asked me about my wish list for the combined chat, you know, and I didn't know what you meant by that, but it is true that I feel that currently the combined chat is really useful, but at the same time I wish we had more options, you know. More options, Kuma. So I will translate it, you know. No breathing postures. Stand or sit tall, relax your shoulder. So in Japanese, it would be, and again, I apologize for my accent, everyone. Even though I think my Japanese accent isn't the worst, but... So again, I'm doing warming up exercise, Lenshu. So, breathing posture, stand or sit tall, relax your shoulder. Kokyu no shise, sesuji o nobashite tatsu ka suwari, kata no chikara o nukimashou. Right? Wakaru? Right? I'm trying my best, guys. I was trying to do a thing. Oh, were you trying to do your own chat, your own plugin, the Bolisu plugin? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what we're trying to do, Kuma? Or are you trying to do something else? Are you trying to do something else? Because honestly, if there could be a way to make it better, that would be useful. Jibun wa anime dato robot to mono toka suki desu ne. As for anime, I like robot-themed ones and stuff like that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Robot anime. Do you know about this one? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. If I have the picture. If I have the picture, Kuma. Roboto anime, I love them. I love them. Danga yo Evangelion ga hontou ni suki desu. Danga yo Evangelion Gundam Votoms good. Kakkoi Votoms. What's another one I really like? Eureka 7. Eureka 7. My name is Eureka. Watashi wa Eureka desu. But Eureka 7, I really love it. The bigot. The bigot. Giant Robo. All of those mecha anime, I love them. I actually have my... Let me show you. Let me show you, Kuma. Where is my chart? Anime chart. Anime chart. Anime. Where is it? I can't find my folder. Because my folder aren't ordered. It's here. Here. Anime I loved. I love those. So, Dangayo, Evangelion, Berserk, Gunbuster, Steins Gate, Canon, Sakura, The bigot, Utena. Great anime. I love them. I love them a lot. I don't know about you guys, but this is the list of anime I love. Even though I could add more of them. I could add more, because here it's only a 3x3 as we call them sometimes that I do. So where is my Axel chat again? Oh, here. I will plug myself. I was trying to do it. I will plug myself. What do you mean? What do you mean? Transformers ya Gandamu Majinga Zetto. Majinga Zetto is cool. Toka desu ne. Stuff like Transformers, Gundam, and Mazinger Z, yeah. It's cool. Kakkoi. I love them. I love them. Mazinger Z, Mazinga Zetto is really cool. I saw the movement on Gunbuster. It's a great one. It's a great one. Do I have some screenshots? Because actually I rewatched Mazinger Z a few years ago. Because I like it. I like it, Kuma. I have so many folders with screenshots, by the way. If there is a funny one. I have clips. Should I show you a clip of... Oh, those clips. I still have those clips. Let me see if I can show it to you. I have clips of Mazinger Z. You should tell me what you think about it. Then my stream is really freestyle, but let me show you. Let me show you, Kuma. I have a clip. Let me just remove this. I will put myself smaller, like this. Like clips of Mazinger Z that I think are really funny, because when I was watching Mazinger Z, I was making clips, you know. I was making clips because these days I'm making clips of anime when I can. I think I could show it to you in the browser, right? So there's this one. I call them Do a Flip. And you're going to see why. You're going to see why, Kuma. Where is it? Here. This one. Does it load? Does it show? This one. Damn. He's doing a flip. He did a flip. But why is it so low? I think it's because the release I was using was really low, you know. But these parts, like there are moments like this in Mazinger Z that I love because they're so like, they're unintentionally funny, obviously, but like, I don't know, I love them. I love them, Kuma. Another one, because I got a second one. Let me see if I can close it first. I got a second clip. I just wish it was a bit higher, but maybe you should just turn on, increase your volume, guys, if it's too low for you, I guess. Let me show you. Here. Do a flip. You'll see. Damn, it's really tense. What are they doing? Of course. Of course it's going to fall, you know. Like the MC is going to be all cool and stuff and doing the flip, and the other one is going to die. And Mazinger Z has a lot of moments like that. Like, believe it or not, for an anime released in the 60s, because it's an anime released in 1963. 1963. That is really, really old, guys. That's one of the first anime in the book. Or maybe I'm mixing it, like 1970, right? I think I'm mixing it. Like 1963 is Astro Boy. Mazinger Z is 1972. Now I forgot. Let me see. But it's 70s. 70s, Kuma. 1973. So 10 years after Astro Boy, you know. Tetsuwan Atomu. But I love Mazinger Z. It's a cool anime. It is a cool anime, Kuma. It is. Do a flip. Flips are nice. And I have other clips like that. Actually, I have a ton of clips related to anime I watch now because I'm making more and more clips. If I can, Kuma. Just let me see. Because I got my translation tool next to me. Let me see. By the way, it's cool that my plugin works so well, Kuma. It does work. So here I didn't put back my thing because I should keep doing my exercises too. Chinamini Majinga Z no Shujinko no Seiyu wa Transformers no Rodimus Prime no Nihongo ban no Seiyu desu. By the way, the voice actor for the main character of Mazinger Z is the same as the Japanese voice actor for Rodimus Prime in Transformers. Naruhodo ne. I didn't know that. Naruhodo. I haven't watched a lot of Transformers, actually. I should watch more of it, you know. Like, Transformers is one of the series that, for some reason, I really didn't watch a lot of it, you know. I should watch more. Kuma. Let me see. Because I think it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have watched Transformers. So, Transformer wa mada mita koto nai kedo, motto mite mitai. I want to watch more of Transformers. I want to watch more of it. Looks cool. I like it. Naruhodo. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. I was getting to the next exercise. Those type of streams, by the way, are really funny because I don't have any rules, you know. Like I said, I'm going to do something, but I don't mind if I go in other ways, you know. Only saw a Transformers movie with the Just Do It guys. I also know there was a Transformer movie. I haven't watched it, but the main theme was a Linkin Park song. It was a Linkin Park song, and I actually got the album. I got the album of Linkin Park with that song in it because I made a presentation back in high school. It was during Dutch classes or Flemish classes, as we said in Belgium, believe it or not. And we had to present a music group. And me and my friends, we picked Linkin Park. And I picked the last album of Linkin Park, and that's when I discovered that they actually did a song for a Transformers movie, you know. It's actually the song What I've Done. You know, I don't know if you heard about that one. I won't sing it. I'm pretty bad at singing Linkin Park song, by the way. It's not the most famous, but I think it's pretty good, you know. And they made it for a Transformers. So anyway, next exercise, breathing postures, stand or sit tall, relax your shoulder. So I think it's just having the nice posture in order to breathe. So like this. So you stand well, relaxed, and then like this. You should be relaxed, guys. Relaxed. Because if you're relaxed, you will be able to speak freely, you know. And easily, Kuma. Easy. Breath support. 2 minutes. Focus on the diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, expanding your belly. Exhale slowly on a the hissing sound for 8 counts. Do this 5 times to ground your breath and engage your core support. So it's learning to breathe properly, you know. Let me see. I will translate it, you know. As I said I was doing it. Let me see. You're going to get Nihongo Eureka today, guys. Did I close it? I didn't want to close it. Okay, no, I didn't. Kuma. I hope you're doing the exercises too, by the way. It's really useful, you know. Even if you don't do that, I would recommend you to stretch. Stretching is a cheat code, you know. If you want to do only one thing in your life regarding exercising, you should stretch. So let me translate it in Nihongo, like the breath support, this part. So. 横隔膜呼吸に集中しましょう。鼻から4カウントで息を吸い、お腹を膨らませます。スースという音で8カウントかけてゆっくり吐きます。これを4回繰り返して呼吸を安定させて体幹のサポートを意識しましょう。I should work on my Japanese again, that's for sure. But that was the translation in Japanese, you know, for this exercise. So let me do it. Let me do it now. So focus on diaphragmatic breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, expanding your belly. So it means I should do and counting 4 in my head, right? I think that's what it means. Exhale slowly on a sound for 8 counts. So let me do it. So inhale. I did it. It's weird. It feels like I'm doing an ASMR stream, but I'm not. I'm not doing ASMR, you know. Like, it's really one of those quirky streams. Like, fortunately, guys, you're lucky. I won't do that every single time I'm going live on stream, you know. Like, that is the type of stuff I will do before streaming. But I thought it was interesting to show you the routine I was looking for, you know. But what's even more funnier is that we actually got a Japanese guy now on the chat and wanted to talk about Mecha and Loboto, which I appreciate, but then he ended up on a stream with me doing my breathing exercises. But it's cool to have people. It's not even the first time I had Japanese viewers, you know. I had it a lot of time. I had it many times in the past because EU times, believe it or not, are quite compatible with Japanese times. But I know I should set up a system for me to be able to easily translate the chat, you know. Because I really want to start interacting with Japanese too, you know. Eventually learning Japanese myself, you know, because I know it at a very basic level, but I want to get better at it. ATP Juntao, exactly. exactly. Damn. I saw Ares, he was streaming the Jackie Chan game, Stunt Master. It's a pretty cool game. Pretty cool. I think Jackie Chan is cool. Cool character, you know. So next one. 3 minutes. We're taking more than 3 and 2 minutes, obviously. The next one. Resonance and buzzing. Lip trills. I'm not sure I can do it well. Right? It's like when you're trilling, you're vibrating your lips, kuma. Glide from low to high pitch and back down. Back down? What do they mean by backing down? Does it mean going forward? Weird. Tongue trails. I'm really bad at them. That is my weak point, you know. This is why my Spanish is horrendous, by the way. I'm really bad at tongue trails. Going back to a low pitch. Okay. This way. Okay. It's just like I read it for some reason. I read it in another way. Like I took it as the full verb, like back down, like backing down. But it means just like glide from low to high pitch and back down. Okay. Naruhodo. Thank you. Back off, Eureka. Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I do it and then boom, going backwards, you know. Humming. Hum gently on a sound while feeling vibration in your lips nose. Okay. Let me try. So from low to high pitch, how would I do that? So it's a like this, right? How do you do it? Even the lip trails, I'm bad at them. Can you do it, guys? The lip trails? Because I can vibrate my lips, but I feel like I struggle to do it continuously, if that makes sense. That sometimes my lips stop, you know. They stop vibrating, and then they start again, you know. It's really funny how it works sometimes, you know. Some people, for them, it's so easy to do that type of stuff, but in my case, sometimes I struggle. Where's my chat again? My Excel chat here. Okay. I can do it. I should watch a video. Let me watch a video of what they mean. I mean, I think I know what it is, but... Pause. Video. Video, Kuma. I have to see it. I'm bad at lip trails. Using your index finger, you can gently press like a centimeter away from your lips edge and try again. Oh, okay, she's showing it, you know. So like this, like. I can do it. Okay, it works. It works. Damn. Those type of stuff, I'm not used to it. Oh, come on. That's a bit embarrassing, guys. But I don't care. I'm here for that, you know, to entertain. I am here to entertain, so I don't care about being a bit embarrassing, I guess. I don't know.
It's the action of blowing air through your lips so that they open or close rapidly like this. Now, a lot of singers, they use voice lip trills to warm up their voice, very much in the beginning of their exercises also, as the first thing that they do.
Benefit of the lip trill. Why do we use it to warm
The lip
up?
trill, it connects the breath pressure to your vocal folds. Basically, we need a nice steady air pressure so that you can sing beautifully from beginning of a phrase to the end of a phrase. And the lip trill, it helps you train that, because you can't get the lip trill to keep trilling if you have too little air or too much air. So now that you know why the lip trill is such a great warm-up tool, I'm going to take you through step by step how to do it properly.
The lip trill step by step.
Start by licking your lips and make sure that you're
The first step is funny, you know, licking your lips, you know, like you're going to eat something, you know. And the close-up is a bit discomforting, I guess. But if you have experience with looking at fitness exercises on like videos on YouTube, oftentimes those exercises are weird because you're not supposed to look at people doing that, you know. Usually when you exercise, you're doing your stuff. Either you're doing it alone in your room, or for example, you go at the gym and then you exercise by yourself and you're doing your stuff. And, you know, usually you don't care about other people. But here, since we're looking at a demonstration, we pay close attention to someone doing the exercise, and that's interesting, you know, and a bit weird, I guess, but that's how you learn.
Relax all the muscles in your cheeks and in your lips. Place your ring fingers at the corners of your mouth and then press outwards and up to lift your cheeks. Now
Upward.
blow a steady stream of air through your lips to make them.
Okay, so upwards and up with the ring fingers. Damn, that's... As I said, I have a small head. Kuma. So I feel like when I put my hands on my head, I feel like I'm just like taking everything, you know. I'm taking everything. So like this, and then... Okay, it works. But how do you go to a high pitch, you know? Because when I'm going at a high pitch, I feel like I'm losing the lip trill. Am I doing engine noise? Nani sole? Am I a car? Kuruma, car. In Japanese, kuruma. What is happening, guys? Am I stoned? I can't do it anymore because I feel like I'm at my limit. I'm at my limit, guys. I can go up and down. I can go up from low to high, it feels like, if I'm doing it well. But then when I go down again, I lose it. I lose the speed.
Trill. Try to only blow as much air as you need so that you can keep the lip trill going for a long time. If your cheeks are filling with air, try pushing your cheeks more firmly against your teeth, using the entire length of your fingers to direct the air to your lips. Once you're able to keep the lip trill going, experiment with adding sounds like slides or different melodic patterns.
Funny sounds.
Really air to your lips.
Funny sounds.
Once you're able to keep the lip trill going, experiment with adding sounds like slides or different melodic patterns.
So here she was doing it, she went to a high pitch and then went down to a low pitch, So I guess that's how you're doing it. By the way, it would be really funny if when I finish my stream, the thumbnail they choose for the VOD on Twitch is this one, like the close-up of the mouth like this.
Firmly against your teeth, using the entire length of your fingers to direct the air to your lips. Once you're able to keep the lip trill going, experiment with adding sounds like slides or different melodic patterns.
Funny noises.
I hope that was really helpful for you and that you're now trilling your lips like a pro. I have created a warm-up track for you, both for male singers.
That was interesting. Let me try it again once more. One last time. I guess with training, I will get better at it. But again, those type of exercises, when I do them, I feel that my face in general is getting relaxed, Kuma. It works, And here, I'm not even doing them, as I said, in an optimal conditions, because this is something like the pre-stream voice warm-up routine that I plan to do before streams, like more regularly, obviously. So I would be alone by myself and I would be able to focus, and to do them well. Here, it's more like a demonstration, a demo, but still really funny. So let me try one last time. So like this, up. I failed already. Obviously, at some point, I don't have air anymore, so I will have to breathe again. That's too hard. I will have to train a lot, It's just like I never used to do that. I will try to do it every day, I got the idea of it, but I will keep trying. Tongue trails are same as above if you can do them. It precises it because not everyone can do it, It's pretty hard to actually pronounce the Spanish R, believe it or not. I think you put your tongue on the top of your mouth in the back and then you do... I can do it. I can do it. The way I do I do it with the back of my throat, actually, but that's not how you do it. I know it. I was always struggling with that. Even when I was taking Spanish classes when I was in middle school, I was struggling. It's not for everyone, I think I will have to watch a video, 2 of these. The tongue trails. I will, Kuma. Let me see. Again. But that could be useful if I actively train. Why did I close YouTube here again? If I actually actively train to make them better, That could be fun. And finally be able to properly pronounce the Spanish R, because it's not easy, Kuma. It is not. Let's see if there is a good video for it. Tongue trail method explained. Let's see. Explained by a bald guy. Let's see. Kuma. Member of the BGC, if you have the reference.
Hi there and welcome back to Improve Your Voice. My name's Darren McStay. If you've been here before, then you've probably got a good idea about how this works. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope I can help you out. I don't like messing around, so I'd like to get straight into it. But firstly, I am going to say this. If you are looking to enhance the use of your voice in every aspect, and I mean looking at your breath, posture, articulation, delivery, resonance, and all the other elements that add up to give you the best voice you can have, then why don't you take a look at my online course? It's an 8-week online course that goes through everything you need to know, every area.
He's shitting his course. Shitting times, kuma. I mean, that's the typical YouTube experience, and maybe his course is good for how I know, maybe it could be good. But yes, usually you will have this type of like shitting stuff about their course, their special course to self-improvement or getting better at singing or piano lessons, you name it. You name it, Kuma.
Of the voice, and will set you up with tools you can use for the rest of your life to stay at the top of your game. Whether you need it for singing, speaking, or just confidence, it's designed to help you out. But anyway, let's get back to today's...
He looks like an older, bald version of John Cena. If John Cena removed his cap, completely shaved, completely shaved, that's John Cena. And let's grow a tiny bit of beard here. That is John. Evil John.
Tutorial, and this comes from a question that I've been asked a few times, is how to do tongue trills. Now, I've looked at other videos on the internet and I've seen how they're trying to help others learn how to roll their R's, but it seems like people are getting stuck.
Just remember those iPad babies that thought don't forget to subscribe meant bye-bye. Yes, there's so many codes in YouTube now, because obviously, why did YouTubers started to say all the time, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to use the bell for the notifications, don't forget to follow me. If anything, even streamers could say that, like, I'm actually surprised I don't see it happen. I don't see it more often, but I think that streamers could say, don't forget to follow me at the end of the stream, or if you want to sub, please sub, because to remind people, because nowadays there are so many Zoomers, that use the internets. Like, as you said, those iPad babies, they work, they check YouTube, they check TikTok, and they just flipping the videos, but they're just flipping, They're looking at the videos, they flip, but they won't necessarily follow you, subscribe to you, or maybe even giving you a like, because we're so used now to have this short span attention and flipping. Yes, they're just flipping and flipping, like flipping pancakes, but now you're doing it every time on your phone or your tablet or anything, you name it. They're flipping.
Because they're thinking about it too much. It's almost like breathing. When you have to consider how your body breathes in and breathes out, it becomes very...
He didn't said consider. He said consider. Like he said it the British way. I think this guy is British, right? He should be British, I'm not the best with English accent, but I know it's not an American accent, right?
Conscious and very awkward and strange to actually embody and comprehend. And it's the same with anything of the body. Once your body's used to it, it becomes subconscious and you don't have to worry about it anymore, like breathing. But with tongue trills specifically, they are a little tricky because not everyone uses them in their accent. So let's see if I can offer some ideas.
Yes, he got a British one. Even though I already mixed in the past British an Australian accent, because the way they speak English in Australia is also different to America, obviously, and in some ways there are some words that they pronounce a bit similarly to the British, and I guess it makes sense because both the United Kingdom and Australia, they're part of the Commonwealth, They're all under the banner of Queen Elizabeth. I mean, Queen Elizabeth is dead now, so now it should be Prince Charles, but you know what I mean, But still, there are some specifics regarding the Australian accent. So sometimes it can happen that I think someone is British, but it's actually Australian, Australian sounds more southern. I see, naruhodo. That would make sense. They're in the South Hemisphere, so I guess it makes sense.
Southern. To help you find a way of doing that for yourself. And I think I was asked this question because in some of my exercises previously, I have tongue drills, yet not everyone is able to do them. Okay, so it's been said before that you need to have a completely relaxed tongue, but that's false. You need to have some tension in your tongue, but I don't want you to think about it. The tongue drills we're talking about...
Interesting. So you actually need some tension, not being relaxed. That's actually an important point.
I like this. But if I put sound to them, it's more like this. Okay, so essentially what's
He's good.
happening is the tip of my tongue is curled back and it makes like a cupped hand shape in your mouth. Then the trick is to relax the tip and let air pass through your mouth in such a way that it hits the tongue like a flag and flaps like this. Try it with a H sound. Now, even though I've described how the tongue is in the mouth,
He's just flexing here, right? He's flexing about his tongue trailing skills.
I don't want you to think too hard about it. What I want you to do is copy me, parrot fashion. See the sound I'm making, and literally just try to copy what I'm doing.
I struggle so much with tongue trills. I'm sorry, guys. That's my weak point. That is my weak point. Learning how to cut colas. I mean, I'm sure you can do weird stuff with that, you know. Like, for example, trying to call specific animals like that. I know there is a way to speak to birds, right? You know, you can actually speak to birds or doing sounds that helps you call them, you know. Like, there are people that are specialized in that, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were many ways to actually interact with animals, you know.
So you're not making the tongue go up and down, the tongue is still and the air moves the tongue. It is a really tricky thing to do, so it's no surprise if you find it difficult. But, and like whistling, it doesn't always happen for everyone straight away. It took me years to learn how to whistle and I'm still not very good at it. I can whistle better inwards than I can outwards. And that's just training. If you don't use muscles a certain way, they don't work for you a certain way. So you just need to copy me and keep going until it works for you. Once it works for you, keep doing it. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. It just takes a little effort. That's all. Don't think too hard about it. Just copy me. So today was just a short, simple tutorial. I hope it's been helpful for those who need it. I've been Darren McStay. This is Improve Your Voice, and I'll see you soon.
I think the thing with tongue trails and why it is so difficult to do it for certain people is that depending on where you live, it is not a sound that you will be making, and you will never use your tongue like that. For example, in French, and in languages like English, I assume in language like Dutch or German, it's pretty much the same. I think, or maybe they use it in German too. I don't remember. But in French, you don't really do that type of R. So when you're speaking every day with people, you never use it, and so your tongue never ends up in that specific position because you don't do it. And I guess that was one of the mistake I did, or maybe my parents did in the past, specifically my mother, is that we didn't really speak Spanish that much, you know, because my mother wanted specifically for me, you know, to learn French, be good at it, be a good model student and stuff. And then later I started to learn more Spanish. But by the time I started learning Spanish in school, a Spanish school, because I was actually following Spanish classes Saturdays, you know, during the Saturdays for a long time. And I said it in the past. I can actually understand 95% of Spanish conversation really easily, you know. Like, for example, if I had to start to live in Spain tomorrow, I could do it because I can understand most stuff. I can read, I can understand, and I can even speak. But my Spanish has a broken accent because of that, because of the R. But weirdly in French, a lot of boomers have an accent with rolling R. Maybe it depends on the local slang. Yes, it depends on the local slang. Like even, but I say it often jokingly. I have an accent for everything, you know. I have an accent for English, I have an accent for Spanish, and I even have an accent for French. Because obviously, since I'm Belgian, I'm a waffle. The way we speak French is already a bit different to the way French people would speak French. But even then, I feel like the way I speak French is peculiar at times, I guess. You know, I feel like I have an accent for everything. Maybe that's part of my build or part of my charm. But no matter the language I speak, I have some kind of accent, you know. And that's fine. That's just how I am. Kuma. Let me see the comments, though, because I'm curious. Oh, he's still shilling the his course, his classes. Out of all of the techniques I have tried, you simply saying, just copy me, is the thing that made me get it. On first try, no less. Weird. I've tried to learn this for years, copy me, and boom. Really? So, like Kirby, right? They're doing it like Kirby. Copy ability, you know. I wish I had this power, you know, the Kirby power. Weird. But now it's pretty much biased because obviously the comments you will see here are people that managed to do it. It doesn't mean that everyone did it, but let me try again. And he said, I don't know. I'm bad. I don't do it well. That's so hard. I think the R, no matter which R, by the way, is such a weird sound. Even the French R, I don't like it, you know. I don't like the French R. I think the French R is weird. But then you look at the Japanese R, that is between an L and an R, that is even weirder to pronounce. Then you see the way English people pronounce it. And then you see the way Spanish people, I assume Italian and Latinos pronounce it. And no matter how you pronounce it, I don't like the R. I don't like it. I don't like the R, you know. The hard R. You shouldn't use the R. You shouldn't use the R. The hard R isn't allowed. Or you're a bigot. You better not like it. Exactly. I don't like the R. I never liked it, you know. That's the proof. Like that really shows you that I am not a bigot. Eureka is not a bigot. I don't like the R. I'm bad at pronouncing R's in general, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Never. I can do it. I will have this one. I will have to train off stream for sure. I will train it off stream. You know, I will try to do it every day because tongue trails aren't easy. They aren't. And so hum gently on and by the way, let me put back my playlist. We're getting close to the end, by the way. Those are just bonus tips. Hum gently on a sound while feeling vibration in your lips nose. So this one, okay, let me pause again. Oh, actually, I can leave it. I can do it with the music, because actually you can hum a music too that you like, and it's a good way to warm up your voice, you know, as with other things. So, or then you do. I guess with the music it's hard to focus into doing something like You can do many things like that, like just some music that you like, you know. Or for example, okay, that's not the easiest thing I picked to hum, but that's actually what I did. This one, I did it before streaming, you know. While I was playing that other game, not this. Oh, don't crash. I thought sometimes OBS phrases, fortunately, it doesn't crash, you know. But when I was playing this, I played this again today. This game, it's a pretty fun one. Nintendo World Championship, you know, because I got hooked since yesterday. I started playing it yesterday because I had it in my backlog. Because currently, pretty much what I'm doing, I'm trying to beat the Switch game I haven't beaten or I haven't played before the release of the Switch 2. Even though I won't get the Switch 2 day one, I don't think I will get it day one. I don't even know if I will get it, you know, because it's really expensive, and I still want to wait for the games to see the other games they're going to announce and release, and also see how people feel with the Switch 2, and if maybe in a year Nintendo will release some kind of updates for the hardware already. We don't know. But I got hooked to this game, and while I was playing this game, like doing like speedrunning challenges, I was humming, you know. I was humming because I was trying to prepare myself before my stream, and it actually helped me to warm up my voice. So it works. It does work, Kuma. Okay, now, funny part, tongue twisters. I heard about that too. But tongue twisters is actually a good way, obviously, to train your articulation, as I said, and just speaking. Because before speaking, you want to speak already, you know. You want to speak in order to warm up, you know. Before speaking a lot and yapping a lot, like I do it right now, you want to actually yap before. I mean, not yapping, but you want to say something, you know, to warm up. So let's do it. Red letter, yellow letter, right? That's the way it's pronounced, right? Because I always forget letter. Red letter, letter, yellow letter. This one, is that a tongue twister? That doesn't seem like a tongue twister, right? Or am I tripping? That doesn't seem like a tongue twister to me. Because usually tongue twisters, they are stuff that you pronounce and you struggle. Yes, letter. Red letter, yellow 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 letter. Okay, I can see it. I think the first one is mostly because you go from the R sound to the Y sound, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. So I guess it can confuse you, but it's easy, yes. Go man. Next one. Unique New York, 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 unique New York. I only struggled a bit at the 7th one, but usually I'm pretty good with tongue twisters. Let me do it again. Unique New York, 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 unique New York. I did it 10 times. Toy boat, 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 toy boat. Nani? This one is easy. It's baby things. I would rather say nice boat, like the meme from school days. I like boats, Kuma. Boats are nice. So I should close this. What is this? Cancel. Naruhodo ne. Yes. This one is too easy. Sorry I was away for a minute. You are good at twisting your tongue. For what purpose? Come on, Bolisi. It's funny how you conveniently disappear and then reappear at the most out of context moment. And then you accuse me. Bolisi is accusing me to be lewd at all times, you know. To say perverted stuff at all times. But, I mean, I may be lewd and perverted, but not at all times, right? I mean, you can use your tongue for a lot of stuff, you know. And being able to twist your tongue is a really useful skill, believe it or not, you know, in a lot of context. And even I'm not even lying, because right now you're thinking Eureka, you're thinking about lewd stuff again. When I was in elementary school, believe it or not, I had trouble to pronounce the CH, the sh in French, the sh, ATP, sh. I had trouble to pronounce this sound at some point in elementary school for some reason. I don't know why. And I had to see, I went to see for a few sessions. Let me see, how is it called in English? I went to see for a few sessions. Oh, it's called like that, a speech therapist. Apparently, it's called a speech therapist in English, you know. Or speech language pathologist. That's weird, how is it called? But anyway, I only went to for a few sessions, and the person was trying to help me to pronounce the sounds. She told me, because she was a nice woman, by the way, she told me you should learn to twist your tongue, you know, because if you can move your tongue in different ways, that's how you get better at pronouncing sounds. And she told me to do the thing, putting my tongue in a cup. I don't know how is it called, by the way. How is it called when you fold your tongue laterally, right? That's what I think about. If I can show you an example of what I mean. Lateral tongue rolling. I don't know if that's the one. Yes, Lore. I went to see a speech therapist when I was in elementary school, but only for a few sessions. I think it was only 3 or 4 sessions, because believe it or not, I learned how to pronounce the sound I was struggling with really quickly. I was a quick learner. It's to the point I almost wish I asked my parents to do more session in order to learn the tongue trails, you know, the R, the Spanish R, you know. That if I could get more sessions, so she could teach me how to do it, so because maybe she would have been able to help me with that. I don't know, you know. So let me see if that's what I mean. Like sides, lateral. Oh, this, right? Oh, tongue rolling. It's just called tongue rolling. This thing, I couldn't do it at first. Can you do this? Can you do this, guys? Putting your tongue like that. Ooh. I can do it. I don't know about you, I couldn't do it at first, you know. I couldn't. I'm weird like that, but I couldn't. Yes, yep, I knew it. You know, there's a lot of basic stuff that I can do. A thing that I hate, and I hate that I can do, is that I can't do the Vulcan sign. I can't do that, the Vulcan salute. I can do it. I can't. My hands doesn't work. My hands don't work as intended. I can do. Can you do that? the Vulcan salute. I can't. And I try, I can't. You can. You're skilled. You're all skilled, guys. Like, where did you learn that? Where did you learn that? Come on. I couldn't. I remember I was first year at elementary school, and my best friend at the time, he was always doing this sign, and he was trying to teach it to me, but I couldn't do it. And now, like, I'm looking at my hands and trying to do it, and I can't. I can do it if I really force myself, but I have to put my fingers up, you know, 2 of my fingers up, so it looks like shit, you know. It doesn't look like I'm doing the Vulcan salute, you know. And there was a story of an actor, one of the actors on Star Trek. I think it wasn't in the original series, but one of the latter series. They couldn't do the Vulcan salute either. So what they did, they used rubber bands around his finger, and they used the color they used, so you couldn't see that it was a rubber band while watching the series, obviously. So he could do the Vulcan salute because he couldn't do it. So there was actually someone on a Star Trek series that had the same trouble as me, you know. And I know I used to know a few people that couldn't do it either. So I guess it's not that uncommon to not be able to do it, but yes, I can't. My hands are weird. I think I talked about it in the past. I have hands, they're small, but they're, I don't know, they're not weird in the sense the way they look. If you look at my hands, they're pretty normal, but the way I move my hands, like, I wish I could show you if I had some kind of second camera, but they move in a weird way, you know, pretty much. Anyway, I was talking about that. I couldn't do it, and in the second session, I learned it. And I remember first session at the speech therapist, she asked me to do that. I couldn't do it. I try-harded during the evening, because she was pretty cute, by the way, so I wanted to impress her. Next day, I showed her, and she was impressed, because I did it immediately, you know, I learned it. And then, third session, I learned how to say shh properly, you know, and that's it. Weird, yes, that's weird, like, my hands are weird, you know, but again, not weird in the way they look. Because if you look at my hands, you would say, okay, normal hands. But when I try to do stuff with my hands, it's not that I struggle, but I'm unconventional, you know. I'm really the unconventional type, you know. Like, you know, for example, when you look at sports, like, there are some sports, like, for example, tennis or football or basketball, and you look at a specific player, and the way they play, like they play football or play tennis, is really weird. It's unconventional, to the point you wonder, how does it even work? I'm like that with my hands, you know? Like, there is a player like that. I watch a lot of tennis, actually, like a player named Medvedev, a Russian player. When you look at him playing tennis, you would think he's not a tennis player. That guy isn't a tennis player. He's playing tennis like the random dude on the street who picked up a racket and tried to play tennis. But he's good. He's playing in such an unconventional way and being pretty good at that, you know. Like, to the point, he 1 year he finished a first player, like top player of the tour, first in the world. So it's not because you're unconventional that you can't achieve things, that's for sure. My hands are weird. They can make people feel way too good, don't know why. I'm pretty good with my hands. I said it in the past. For sure. It may be unconventional, but I'm good with my hands, for sure. Okay, this one is a classic. Kuma. Let me say it. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 She sells seashells by the sea. I missed it. I'm trying again. I want to do it 10 times. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 She sells seashells. It's hard to do it on stream. I can do it perfectly off stream, guys. Believe me. I did it in the past on stream, by the way. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 I did it. I did it. I can give you a strat with the tongue twisters. To me, tongue twisters is like learning how to play a rhythm game. And what I mean by that is that there is a rhythm. You can learn a rhythm on how to pronounce it. Like, it's a combination of two things. What helps is having a rhythm when you do the tongue twister and focusing. You should focus, you know. We were doing tongue twisters back in elementary school, and my teacher was actually impressed that I was so good at it because my classmates were struggling and I was always doing it perfectly. And it's really because every time I was doing it, like when my teacher asked me, Eureka, you can read this tongue twister, I was just focusing, you know. I was in the zone. You know when you're in the zone, when you're playing a sport and trying to be on your best. That's what I was doing it. Exaggerated mouth movements. Open your mouth wide and clearly articulate syllables like ma, me, mi, mo, mu. Ma, me, mi, mo, mu. Mo. I think of the Resident Evil zombie sounds in Resi 1. I love it. The sound design in Resident Evil is top tier. Omelette du fromage. Exactly. Or in French. I did a tongue twister in French in the past. I guess doing tongue twisters in other language would work too. Like, for example, I guess I could show it here. I could show it here so you can read it with me. Let me show you. Moo. The specific one in the west side, the first floor, west side of the Spencer Mansion. In the corridor with the stairs, first floor, west side of the Spencer Mansion. The way the Zombo do the sound, I love it. I love it, Kuma. Great sound design. Let me see, where is again my... Okay, not this. Can I do it like this? This is an example. I guess I will remove the chat quickly for now so you can see it. Oh, it's too big. It is too big now. Guess I should do it like this. It's a big one. This one. Read it with me. This is an example of French tongue twister. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches, archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches, archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches, archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de... Ah, now I'm bad at French tongue twisters. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches, archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse... I'm bad at French. I'm better at English tongue twisters than French tongue twisters now. But what I mean by that is, now I remember to expand on the lore I was talking about. The CH, we were actually doing tongue twisters and reading this one, and that's when my teacher noticed that I was bad at pronouncing the CH sound, and that's after that I started to go to a few sessions to a speech therapist, you know, because of this one, you know. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches, archi-sèches? 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 I did it. I did it. It's about focus. This one is hard, but I can do it. But it really shows you we all have different builds, you know. I am good with tongue twisters, and other people struggle so much, even to this day. Sometimes I ask people, are you good at tongue twisters? And they tell me, oh, this one, I can never do it. I can't pronounce it, this one, it's too hard. And to me is, you know, like when I focus, I do it all the time. Well, and usually if I miss once, you know, because I'm not focused enough. But I can do it like 10 times in a row. Even more. It's more about having a rhythm. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Pitch and range, 2 minutes. Glide through your range with simple scales or sirens. Nay, 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 in a bratty voice. Mesogaki. Bratty, mesogaki. I like mesogakis. I should be a brat. Do I have a safe picture of mesogaki? I'm not even sure of that. Let me see. Do I have a safe picture of a mesogaki? I hope so. Maybe not. Mesogakis are dangerous, you know. I'm looking at the picture I have. It's too dangerous for Twitch, you know. It is too dangerous for Twitch. Way too dangerous, you know. And by dangerous, I mean they're not necessarily naked picture, you know. Like illegal in the sense they're naked, but still, it's really dangerous, you know. Dangerous, kuma. What about this one? Nah, this one is too dangerous too. Recommend some mesogaki VTubers. There was one, but I forgot her name, but I follow her. There's actually a Nopai Lolly who is a mesogaki, but I forgot her name, but I follow her on YouTube. I think Matsuri isn't necessarily a mesogaki, but she has big mesogaki vibes, even more that she's herself is a lolly enthusiast, a lolicon, and she has a lolly version too, you know. She had a lolly version of her model, pretty much, you know. So I guess it's more about going towards VTuber that either have mesogaki vibes. There is also Laplace. I think Laplace has big mesogaki vibes, you know, for sure. I don't necessarily actively watch mesogaki VTubers, but I do follow or watch some clips of them, you know, for sure. For example, there were some people that were saying that Gura was a mesogaki, but she wasn't a mesogaki. Like, Gura is a lolly, but she's not a mesogaki, you know. If anything, she was pretty safe-ish in that way, you know. Like, I never really saw Gura as a brat. Even though, as with everyone, she could have her bratty moments, but yes, pretty much. Nay, nay, nay. How do you say that in a bratty voice? Nay, nay, nay. Nay, nay, nay. It's like you're doing a tantrum. Nay, nay, nay. Nay, nay, nay. Isn't that what they say in some rap songs? They say nay, nay, nay. Nay, nay, nay. I'm sure Snoop Dogg said something like that. He said, nay, 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 gug, 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 nay, 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 gug, 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 while smoking a blunt and doing a weird-ass dance and being stunned. Like, that's a Snoop Dogg song, right? That's a Snoop Dogg song, Kuma. I'm sure of it. Gug, gug, gug. Engage the lower register. Gug, 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 gug. I guess these ones, for the tongue twisters, And for this, I will look at other things to say to make a good list. Because here it's just like quick examples I found with asking GPT-kun to do it, to give me examples. Anyway, we're getting to the end. Pre-stream voice warm-up routine, bonus tips. Drink room temperature water, not cold. I remember this one because in the past, when I was streaming as Eureka V1, let me show the picture again. Not this one, but the iconic. Let me show you again the iconic. Where's the? Okay, it's here. I'm trying to find my picture again. My iconic Sonic cap picture with my drape. With my big ass drape, my Sonic drape, back then, back in my early days, early days Eureka. Back when I was streaming as Eureka V1, I already mentioned in the past that I had, sometimes my throat was getting sore. And at that time, there was a Japanese watcher that was actually actively watching me during that time. And she gave me, I said she because I'm pretty sure she was a woman. She gave me some strats, and she pretty much told me you should drink. If you drink water, it should be room temperature. It shouldn't be cold. You shouldn't be drinking cold stuff, cold drink, because it makes your voice more sore. And that was a mistake I was doing in the past, because sometimes I was getting water bottles from my fridge and they were cold, obviously, and then I was drinking a big ass glass of water thinking it was going to help me during a stream, and it was making things worse. It was making them worse. Not cold. A spoon of honey is great for soothing the throat. That's the strat I used in the Metroid stream. After I read the manual and I was struggling, I took a break, spoon of honey, and it helped. It did help. I do it. I do have honey. Avoid too much caffeine or dairy before stream. So this one, I drink a lot of coffee. So this one I should stop it. In the sense, I only drink a coffee in the morning, but I shouldn't drink a coffee during stream or before streaming, That is the thing I should pay attention, And if I notice that even drinking a coffee the morning affects my speaking performance in a later stream, I think in the days I stream, I wouldn't drink a coffee, if it helps. And here, this one I should do it more, this one. Take micro breaks every 30-45 minutes, 1-2 minutes of silence or soft humming. I could do also silence during my stream. I already do it at times, just like stopping to speak like this. Or just while I'm playing, like for example, I'm playing, I want to focus, I don't want to speak, so I'm just humming, to fill the blanks. Random stuff like that. Alright. I think it's pretty much everything, like I took my time to explain this routine, and even more considering like we had some tangents, because I also talk about anime and a lot of stuff. That was a fun stream, That is something that I will do tomorrow before streaming, so I won't do it on stream as I said, If I had to do something on stream, like let's say I had to skip this because I didn't have the time to do it, I would do the humming, probably. The humming and tongue twisters. That's the type of stuff I could do quickly on stream if I had to skip it. But other than that, I do it before, Okay. So tomorrow, I'm going to stream Metroid. I want to beat it, Metroid on NES. That's going to be the stream tomorrow. Like, my goal is to beat it. I did some progress. I saved the passwords from last time, so I should be able to start again from where I was. But that is my goal, to beat it. Tomorrow, Friday, if I don't manage to beat it tomorrow. And then next week, I don't know yet what I'm going to do, But what I'm sure, I will try to alternate between doing a game stream, so streaming like the Metroid games I was talking about, and streaming like doing a chit-chat like we did. It's always interesting. So I want to thank today Volios, Bolisu Dempa, Prince Anime, and anyone else who was watching. Also, Kilin-san, thank you very much. Like the Japanese person who was on the YouTube chat, thank you. And any others lurkers who were here to watch, thank you guys, that was really fun. I had a lot of fun talking to you, you know, with my weird ass mic that is moving a lot. Look at this. I'm using my mic like a broom. That was fun. I'll be here tomorrow around the same time. So either 6:30 CEST or 7 CEST, around those times, like same time as today, for some Metroid. And that's it, guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Kuma. See you next time. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.